Alright.
Everything as he's now a suspect in this awful tragedy, and I don't know how, but somehow this case just keeps on getting so much worse. As it's now been a couple months since the singer went into hiding in the middle of his tour after a body of a girl linked to him was found in an abandoned Tesla by his home, leading people to find out the chilling potential clues left by David online for years. And honestly, I mean, this story has been impossible to avoid for the last couple of months because it just keeps on getting more and more sinister. So I'm going to give you a content warning here. And originally I wanted to wait to upload this video until we had an arrest or at least something. But as the weeks went on and even months went on, we still have no arrest. And I think if anything, people are more confused now than ever. But he was finally just made a suspect. And at this point, I feel like the internet is kind of looking at the detectives like they're Internet Explorer or something, working on dial-up internet. So today I thought we'd break down what we know and the updates to this entire situation. So first and foremost, the horrible news first broke on September 9th when employees at a Hollywood impound lot noticed a foul smell coming from what seemed to be an abandoned Tesla. When police arrived and searched the vehicle, they unfortunately found the remains of a 15-year-old girl, who was later identified as Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And the Tesla was quickly discovered to be registered to the singer David, who was actually on his North American leg of his tour at the time. And at first, everyone assumed it was this like terrible tragic coincidence. But as more details came out and more people looked into everything from David's posts to his music videos and I guess his whole digital footprint, things started to get pretty creepy. And obviously, before we cover this, legal disclaimer here, I am not accusing David of anything. We're just objectively looking at all of the information that has been gathered by the internet. So first and foremost, who is David, or David Anthony Burke? He found his way to fame by creating his own music for his Fortnite edits to avoid copyright strikes, which is relatable for a whole lot of creators because anyone who uploads to youtube.com quickly realizes if you don't own the music or have the license to use that music, you're going to get claimed very quickly. But this turned into a blessing for him because he started putting out a bunch of music on SoundCloud and other social media platforms, and eventually having one of his songs titled Romantic Homicide go viral on TikTok in 2022. And I mean, just by the title of the song, there's some similarities here between this and YNW Melly, because it's very unfortunate that, you know, he may be a suspect in a homicide case now with his hit song being Romantic Homicide. Obviously, the big difference here is Melly was found guilty, but he had a hit song called On My Mind, which is very unfortunate when you're on trial for a double homicide. But, you know, back to the topic, the title of his hit song, Romantic Homicide, is quite chilling when you consider what's currently going on. Plus, the video was posted the day of Celeste's birthday. You know, that's not the only eerie coincidence here. But the online success of his music led him to being signed to Interscope Records, and a couple months later, released his second single, Here With Me. David continued to grow and got huge opportunities like opening for SZA on tour and creating music for TV shows like Invincible and Arcane, which is insane if you think about it, because the guy is only 20 years old and he's already accomplished this much. And it seemed like everything was going well for him on the surface, but it turns out there was potentially a dark secret hiding behind everything. Or maybe it was just out in the open but no one noticed it. Because 8 days after the news of the body being discovered broke, it was announced that the remains had been identified as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a girl who had been missing since April 5th, 2024. And at the time, she was only 13 years old. And what made things even wilder was she had a tattoo on her finger that apparently matched the one that David has as well. And her mother reported that she was dating someone named David, but she had never met him. So suddenly there were a lot more signs pointing to David than anyone originally thought. So the internet sleuths started combing through Discord messages, live streams, tweets, and even his lyrics, looking for more evidence of their alleged connections. And it's safe to say they found a whole lot, because apart from the already mentioned song title Romantic Homicide, which was coupled with a equally concerning music video where he ends the life of a girl who suspiciously looks a whole lot like Celeste while singing the lyrics like, in the back of my mind I killed you and I didn't even regret it. I don't know how much more blatant it can get than that. Let's say it's still a coincidence, but there's still a whole lot of other concerning stuff that might have happened to Celeste in his music and his digital footprint in general. Because just another video titled One More Dance, where the premise is literally another murder where the body is stuffed in the trunk of a car. So, you know, I guess she was stuffed in a frunk rather than a trunk, so that's the only difference here. But again, that girl in that music video looks a whole lot like Celeste. And that led everyone to question, is he essentially trying to like confess without confessing and get away with parading potential evidence around right in front of everyone's eyes? I don't know. Nobody knows yet. But like I said though, it wasn't just his music. You had old screenshots from Discord and Reddit started popping up that seemed to make it obvious that David's community was at least aware of this inclination towards underage girls, as well as his connection to Celeste. And this seems to be the Celeste that we're talking about today. And here there were chats with David and a user named Celeste in a Discord server where they're clearly flirting and claiming they were expecting a baby. So yeah, again, this is just so confusing, and this is on a semi-public Discord server. And then you also had other Discord users who seemed to confidently tell people that David and Celeste were dating. But of course, it keeps getting worse because there are a few.
She was like 14 at this time, bro. That's crazy. She was like 14 at this time.
Messages from people in the server actually calling him out for allegedly having a part in Celeste's disappearance and trying to solicit young girls in general. So it seems like there were a few people in his community trying to get this information out long before Celeste's body was found. Like, take these Reddit posts, for example. There were clearly people calling him out for this. And it's also interesting to note the similarities between the details, like using the initial C, and the girl being from Lake Elsinore, just like Celeste. It just added to the mounting pile of things that did not make David look great in the slightest. And it's also crazy that at the time, people were dismissing this as gossip and actually attacking the original posters for feeding witch hunts. Because now, it seems like there's a good chance he was connected to this very young girl in some capacity at least, even if he had absolutely nothing to do with the crime. So naturally, tweet after tweet went viral exposing future potential clues that made David look more and more guilty. Old unreleased songs titled Celeste, and even clips from the 2024 live stream where a girl who was said to be Celeste calls him out for being weird, for being with an underage girl, and I guess referring to herself.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Oh my, delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
And at this point, the general public had started to change their opinion on David and what level of involvement he may or may not have had. Friends of David came out to say they...
Listen, he probably didn't do it, but he did it.
Had assumed that she was 19 when they first met her because they were at age-restricted events. But police did confirm she did have fake IDs. So I mean, hey, this could be true. They might have actually not known. But he ended up canceling the rest of his tour when the body was identified, which honestly makes sense regardless of the involvement, because, you know, people are going to show up wanting to confront you. And there were a lot of people who were already outraged at the lack of action by law enforcement in regards to arresting David. Obviously, there's an investigation happening behind the scenes, and we still to this day have no idea what's actually happening now. But there have been a few videos from Law and Crime Network uploaded over the past few weeks featuring a private investigator who was hired by the owners of the home David was renting. He said that the homeowners hired him because they felt in the dark in regards to the search conducted on their property and what items of theirs could have been possibly been seized during it. But they also wanted to do their own due diligence and supply the police with any additional information they were able to find. And it seems like this private investigator did in fact find a few interesting things. Things like the alleged identity of the last person to drive the Tesla and to park it on the street street where it was eventually towed.
Do you know who was driving that car, that Tesla?
As far as what we believe is the final parking spot where it was towed from, yes.
Now, obviously, he doesn't disclose this information, but he's saying confidently that he knows who parked that Tesla, which is a potentially huge piece to this case. He also states that through social media, people in David's orbit began to come out of the woodwork to supply him with photo and video evidence, with him finding photos showing Celeste alive on January 2nd, 2025, months after she was last spotted on surveillance cameras running away from home.
Tremendous amount of people have come to me, and I've learned a lot. Now, a lot of it's circumstantial, right? But there are people that are directly in his orbit, and there are people that have a lot of photos and videos from inside the home itself. So we can put people at certain dates and times at the house, and there's a lot of them. It's in the thousands. I'll say the last photo that we have of Celeste is January 2nd, 2025.
January 2nd.
Just like that, withdrawal processing, baby.
So allegedly, there's proof that she was with David. But again, he has to be vague due to the nature of this investigation right now. But he also hints to more evidence that might make David look even more guilty. But obviously, it's hard to know what this could be. It could be anything from like lyrics to emails to actually interviewing people who knew him.
There are some things
Wait, do I
that,
not have
and I'm
comments on
talking
my shit?
physical evidence, there could have been greater plans as
Like,
far
no
as
one can
getting
comment
rid of
on my
her,
shit?
and it's scary sadistic stuff. And that's why we're trying to learn more about that. I wish I could say more, but for obvious reasons I can't.
A good point that got brought up that I didn't even know about was the fact there was only one key to this house, and someone was in the house, with the Tesla being
Wait. I need to figure out. My live right now. Yeah. I don't even know what to put. We live. Deadass. Make odds. Cause yeah, I knew fucking can't make this shit for kids, dog. Make for kids, set by you, features. Yo, how do I unset? No fucking way. No, okay, there we go. Alright, that should fucking do it
parked
now.
nearby while David began his tour. And if this ends up being the same person as who parked the Tesla, it's looking like we have someone who might know what really happened to Celeste.
There's only one key to that house, and who had that, and who had access to it, and who was in it, because who had that key is probably the same person that, had access to the Tesla.
But the private investigator also gave us some pretty helpful clarification in regards to the stage of the investigation, since it all started to seem like nothing was happening at all, and that David may have actually been cleared as a suspect. Like, take this tweet from, what was it, October 3rd, that links to this article here that made it kind of seem like David had potentially been exonerated based on its awkward wording. But what the article actually says is the police haven't been able to confirm if her passing was a result of foul play or something like an overdose. So currently, the authorities are...
What? You don't know if she died of foul play. Nigga, of course. Her body was in a fucking car. Of course it was foul play.
Reportedly not seeking a person of interest or suspect at this point of the investigation.
To be clear, okay, David Anthony Burke has not been officially implicated in any crime, any wrongdoing. He's not been charged. He's not been named a suspect, not a person of interest.
That's
Obviously, his
insane.
connection is through the car and these reports that he had some sort of relationship with Celeste.
And the private
Some
investigator
sort of.
confirmed this, saying that, currently they still need to confirm what crime actually happened before anyone can start pointing fingers here.
I saw a headline saying, they've confirmed that it's not a murder, not homicide. That's not what they said. They said they're just
Right.
standing on their previous statement. Listen, a crime definitely occurred, and they even say that at least concealment of the body.
So at the minimum, it's a concealment of a body. But if the toxicology report comes back that her passing was a result of an overdose, it is no longer a murder investigation, instead just about the crimes that were committed as a result of an overdose.
They're still relying on what's going to come come back from the medical examiner's office, since there's not a determination there, at least publicly.
What is like definitely concerning about this though is there's a chance that this only ends up being a misdemeanor for the people involved, since apparently concealing evidence, even a body, is technically only a misdemeanor in California.
If someone just moved Celeste's body, possibly under California law, that may be just a misdemeanor. There's a law that says every person who, having knowledge of an accidental death, actively conceals or attempts to conceal that death shall be guilty of a misdemeanor.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You can willfully conceal and suppress evidence and destroy evidence to hide it from investigators and family and everybody else, and it's still a misdemeanor.
Who would have known? Currently, it seems like the police aren't even showing their hands. I'm sure they still have way more information than the general public and an idea of what actually happened, but it won't be shared with us until they know for a fact that Celeste's life was taken by someone.
I think if they got a good toxicology, let's say it came back and it was clearly an overdose of some sort, yeah, there would have been some sort of indication by now, and that could be, then initial charges could be dropped. I don't know why initial charges couldn't be dropped now, even if they have the stack on top of them, because I know that they'll probably say, well, he's cooperating. If it's been 2 months and you haven't gotten the answer yet, is he really cooperating? So probably not. He's probably, well, the counsel's telling him not to, and what's the difference if he's Mirandized or not, you know?
So this definitely doesn't mean that he got off like people were claiming. Plus, it was reported that the
Listen, Buddy should just be done with the fact alone that everyone knows he had relations. He was having relations, and he had relations with a 13-year-old, 13, 14, like literally, he's done in the game. He's KO'd in the game. He's done.
authorities conducted an overnight raid on a Hollywood Hills house linked to David as a part of this investigation, and the detectives were seen taking a computer and several other items from the home. So, if there is anything to find,
Like, he's so done. Fucking future artists, they're gonna be like, oh, who am I working with? And they'll be like, you're working with David. They'll be like, fuck, no, I'm not. He's that done. Like, no one, like, literally, he should be fucking just done in the industry. Like, literally, future artists will never want to work with him. 10, 20 years late, it does not matter.
most likely they have a whole lot more than just some Discord messages. But there's still no shortage of accusations and speculation being thrown around online, just adding to the media frenzy and muddying the details. Like this clip of some live streamer that claims to show David's bodyguard admitting that he was involved in whatever happened while he was drunk. And it's very clear that he did not know he was on a live stream here.
Listen, did you hear about the David case?
Yeah. The lat in the back trunk.
He was the bodyguard for him.
I helped him bury her. It's crazy.
What the?
That was clearly a fucking joke. And this guy taking it seriously.
Hell no.
But I mean,
Being with a streamer that is a stream, like literally, hold on, I gotta make sure he says he clearly didn't know that they were videotape. Like literally, it was a joke.
happened while he was
Because
drunk.
he's with
And
a
it's very
fucking
clear that
streamer.
he did not know he was on a live stream here.
Listen, did you hear
And he did not know he was on a live stream here. Is what he says. But this guy is a live stream.
about the David case?
Yeah. The lat in the back trunk.
He was the bodyguard for him.
I helped him bury her. It's crazy.
That was clearly a joke.
Hell no.
But I mean, after watching that video, it just seems like it's engagement bait. Like,
Yeah.
I don't actually think this is a real thing. And the streamer who did this is Cuffham, and I honestly don't think he's above getting someone random to just, you know, say this so we can have some viral clips. But anyway, like I said, no matter what, this is just a terrible tragedy. You have a 15-year-old girl who lost her life, and obviously she is not here to tell her story. And people have been scummy enough to try and shift some blame onto her. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't think victim blaming her is the right thing to do whatsoever. But David hired the best of the best when it comes to defense lawyers, Blair Burke, the woman who represented Harvey Weinstein. And many people are saying this alone is pointing that he could be guilty. Like, getting the best of the best could mean that you need the best of the best, but also if he's innocent here, it also makes sense to get the best of the best. So who knows what's going on? And then you have a bunch of people online who are actually attacking Burke online as well, just for agreeing to represent him. But along with the cancellations of the rest of his world tour, David's sponsors Hollister and Crocs dropped him literally days after he was announced as the face of their new collaboration. Additionally, all promotion of his music was pulled by UMG and Interscope. The dude lost everything just about as fast as he gained it, and until he's officially ruled not guilty, people are of course going to be scrutinizing his every move. But on top of that, the internet is also
even if they find him guilty, the nigga did it, bro. He fucking did it. He told a friend, either like it was meticulous, but he told a friend, put her in the car. Like literally, nah, dog, fuck out of here. It was not meticulous. It was nah.
accusing David of modern.
The fact that they chose a Tesla of all fucking things to do it in, a Tesla of all things. It's not like she was driving his Tesla, fucking overdose, and put herself in the backseat of the car to die. Like she was like, oh, I just feel sick. I'm gonna sit in the back of this car. And just, nah, bro. Nah, bro. There's so much criminal activity that happened. Someone, a part of his team, like, God forbid, someone knocked her off. Someone was like, she gotta go. Because there's rumors she was at the end of their relationship. Like, he probably wanted to break up. So she was basically threatening him. She was trying to blackmail him. And when you have someone that big of an artist that's fucking up that big, it was like, oh yeah, nah, bro, we gotta, she's blackmailing. She's like, this guy got money. This guy's got money. So at the end of the relationship, you're like, oh, fuck you, we're done. Well, guess what, bud? You're fucked because you're fucking with someone that's way fucking young, and they're not just gonna take that laying down with the rich guy. They know you're rich. Like if that was just another high schooler, that was just another 19-year-old high schooler that left high school, yeah, she fucking threw that nigga okay, we're done. But no, you're a fucking famous guy, well known, got money, and I'm underage. Nah, bruh. So someone, part of that team was like, this cannot ruin his image. She gotta go. So sadly that happened. It's sad because he was fucking around early. He was fucking around early in the game. Like, buddy, you probably went to concerts and had bitches out the wazoo wanting him. And he was like, that 13-year-old though, she looked bad. Bro. Fucking
Creating his own subreddit, only to allegedly delete critical posts of him amidst this whole investigation into Celeste's death. So apparently, because David was listed as the sole moderator of his account, users accused him of trying to control the narrative and portray himself in a more positive light. But hours later, the subreddit was locked. And then to make things even worse for him now, according to TMZ, an investigator confirmed that he's now a suspect. So at this very moment, it definitely does not look good for David or his actions.
Listen, career finished. Life finished. Like, after this, you gotta like move to the far country where you got a house in the woods, and like you just live there for 20 to 30 years. Like, this is all in to say like, oh, he's never found guilty, whatever. He's never found guilty. Well, guess what, bud? Hollywood, you're never gonna fucking belong. They will never, ever, like, literally, benefit of the doubt. This was a girl. Like, literally, the fact that she was a minor, bro. The fact that she was a minor. He was 19, 20 now. Fucking with a minor. Buddy's finished off of that. But the fact that now the minor that you were having some sort of relations with, there's messages, there's all types, there's pictures, there's videos, there's messages and pictures and videos of y'all two together. The messages state from her messaging a friend saying, yeah, no, bud, you're finished. You gotta move. You either gotta, like, out of country or cabin in the woods type of life. That's a type of lifestyle you can only live. Like, fucking hope you got millions. You just keep that cause buddy, you're not coming back after that. Nobody's coming back after that. Nobody's coming back after that. He's not coming back after that. You're not just gonna drop fire music and then everyone's gonna be like, you're not gonna be 10 years down the road a Chris Brown, where, 10 years ago you made a mistake, and then everyone forgives you, and then, your concerts are selling the fuck out. Nope, you're done. You're done. No one in the industry is ever messing with you again. You're done.
Online. And what's also kind of shocking is there's still no information that's came out about what actually happened to Celeste.
I'll just be honest, we really don't know. Nobody has stepped forward, even wanting to be anonymous off the record, and said, listen, I know what happened. So it's very bizarre that there's this many people involved that have stayed this quiet for this long.
Because it was, I can't even, bro. It was N team. It was N the team. It was manager, friend. Like, he absolutely couldn't get his hands muddy. But you're getting threats from said teenager. You know what I mean? Y'all probably had an argument. He's like, you know what? I'm famous, girl. You're acting up. We're done. Well, guess what, bud? Most women are spiteful. Vindictive, spiteful, and they are, like, especially if you're somebody that's somebody that's somebody. They are not taking, they're like, oh, we're done. We're done. I'm gonna fuck your life up. And that right there put that whole situation in motion, bro. I promise you. I promise.
Especially like when they're young, and it's like they're all warrior up.
And as of recording this video, that's about all we know. But I'll update you guys when something big in this investigation happens. So subscribe if you're new. Drop a like.
The next big thing that's gonna happen is they're like, yo, Tesla footage got the friend. Tesla footage got the friend driving a car. Celeste, you know what I mean? Tesla footage got it. And they're like, it's fucking Cash Patel. Like, we got him. We got him. And whole team
Like if you enjoyed this breakdown, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.
In this game, your heroes will die. A lot. With every defeat, a new hero takes on.
Through the Trump and Clinton, no one really, I mean, people give a fuck. But no one really gives a fuck, dog. I'm interested in this. China, bro. China.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 290 of The China Show, the real China Show.
Not that fake one.
Not that annoying one that stole our name with stats.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we've got a big jam-packed show for you today. An important one. It's episode 290, right?
So where
is that? What's the
y'all
country
got?
code?
What y'all
Since
got?
it's episode 290, it's a big shout out to the area code of St. Helena Ascension.
That is what they
and
said,
Tristan,
right? 219.
Tristan da Cunha.
Oh, interesting.
Which are, I
290,
guess,
my fault,
Caribbean
290.
islands.
Excellent.
It looks like they have some
I
sort
don't
of
fucking
British,
listen.
maybe it's a British territory.
I
I think it's
I
a
stopped
very,
smoking
very,
a
it's
long
one of those
time
like
ago,
the
bro.
most remote place in the world type
Memory's
of
still
thing, where if you
fucked.
order something, it actually has to come.
No one ever told you after you stop smoking, you know, you think, all right, memory's gonna get better. Nope, it's fucked. It's fucked for life. So that's to tell the kids, even though I got this shit set for no kids, don't smoke, because your memory's gonna be fucked. Mine is.
From South Africa,
They
and
literally
then takes
just
like
said
10 weeks or whatever to get to the
290.
island. I think
I'm
it's
like 219.
somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
I wonder if they have good rum.
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Caribbean usually does, right?
I actually don't think it's Caribbean.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, I'm full of crap because
Okay.
I think it's like it's east of it's west of South Africa,
Yeah.
between like South America and South Africa. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
I think.
Okay. You're probably right, but you could also be wrong.
Mid-Atlantic, yeah, I'm right.
There you go. All right, now you're right.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yo,
Okay,
that
excellent.
Chinese guy that stopped
Absolute nonsense.
literally made me think they were staring at them too, and I'm like, no, it's just a background. But he literally stopped and was like looking at the right. That's
Let's just
fucked.
continue on here, guys.
Yeah.
Shout out if you live there.
Yes.
If you can get internet somehow.
Yes.
We're going to start out with what's new as usual. We're going to saunter right into it because we have quite a big show. And you might notice we don't have a sizzle reel today. We don't have a, like, coming up in today's China show. There's a reason for that. We'll explain it to you shortly.
Yes.
Okay, but let's get right into what's new.
Damn, they were
Specifically,
so young, bro.
what's new in
they
China.
Were so young.
And this woman has won a record for doing what?
Bro, fuck out of here. I gotta get premium. You just go up.
Yeah, pause
The
that real
ad
quick.
is
I can look
showing a
at the
man's
number.
booty
Oh,
cheeks.
I'll go back to the number.
Oh,
I'm
that
sorry.
was not. Yeah.
I'll go back.
You had the record of ripping through that clip.
Yes, okay, so what is this?
So she only took 4.83 seconds
To drink,
in the national China beer chugging competition.
Yeah.
to drink a beer.
To
Sponsored
down
by
that
Qingdao.
to down that pitcher of beer.
Yes, it was called the Booze King.
I know, I saw that. I like that it's called Booze King.
Do you know how big the pitcher was?
No.
1 liter.
Okay.
Could you drink a 1 liter of beer in 4.83 seconds?
No. I mean not in that short amount of time. I could easily drink that.
Oh, that
I think I could have done it. I think I could have done that faster. Listen, no Diddy, no nothing. All you gotta do is down the hatch, down like literally just open. I'm a
I don't think anyone can't drink.
Yeah,
the
it's
beer.
easily drink that like, very quickly, but
All
yeah,
you gotta
definitely
do
not.
Probably
is
take
just
me
like
a minute at
just
least.
Yeah, a couple of tries.
Couple of tries.
Yeah, exactly.
4
Good.
seconds is pretty wild. Do you ever see people that can do that? They just like
they can like open their throat.
Hockey
Bro,
players
we're
do it.
good.
Because they have to
Why?
drink
I'm not
water
gonna
real
try
quick.
and-
Oh, okay, I thought there was another reason. Just like, I'm sorry.
They're busting out their iced canes.
Yeah, let's move on. Okay. Well, I mean, that's great. That's great news.
Yeah.
But I gotta say,
Congratulations
impressive.
there.
Congratulations.
It's a woman that did it. That's
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Yeah, for sure.
This was another sort of challenge.
What?
Challenge.
Oh,
slack
tight.
line.
It's tightrope kind of.
Slack
Okay, that's impressive.
You know hippies that do that slack line thing? They put them up between
Kind of like
trees or
between
whatever.
trees.
Yo. Yo. My thought went to like the Chinese movies when they're like running on trees and shit. They're running in the air. That's literally my thought right off the rip. Like the girl, I didn't think that, but then I just saw the 2 guys doing it, and I'm like, yo, why does that look like them running on top of the tree? Like that must have been their method, their exercise, so they could run on trees.
Yeah.
They don't usually go for speed.
No, no.
I thought that was quite impressive.
Yeah. This-
Recently, a nurse has been going viral in China for what?
Okay, let's see what she's going to pull out of her pocket.
Huge ass cleaver.
It looks
No.
like a meat cleaver, but it's a cell phone case.
I mean, it's very poetic, isn't it?
You know, the thing is, there's a reason for this.
Well, yeah. Do you notice this mothership or whatever? They didn't say why this is going viral in China.
No.
There's a reason.
You see, there's this horrible thing that happens in China. It's revenge against medical staff. Okay,
Yes.
and nurses and doctors are targeted by disgruntled families. So, unfortunately, corruption reaches every level of society in China. When you go to a hospital and your family member is sick, especially if they're going to go for surgery or something very important, you will always bribe the doctor.
Yes.
And by bribe, it's more a cultural thing. You give what's called a hongbao or a red packet, like a lucky money packet. And this is just something that is ubiquitous. And, you know, I used to train doctors. My wife is a doctor. And even when my wife went in for surgery, she's a doctor. She even gave like the red packet to her colleague. It's just part of the way things work.
That is so fucked. Cause I'm taking that as like, yo, I'm giving you this money. Do your finest. And the fact that like they think that like in this case it sounds like, you know, here, good luck. Do a good job. But their average American is going to take that as, yo, take this. Do your finest. Don't slack off. Don't kill me. That's like, so it's bribery for them to like take their job seriously. That's fucked. That's absolutely fucked, bro. Wow.
You know, and it's even if they're like, no, it's like, no, I'd rather do that for peace of mind. Like, if I pay you, it means you're going to do a better job.
Well, there are many documented cases of people I know personally that have actually kiboshed a surgery or made complications to delivering a baby, like hurting the baby.
Yeah.
Because the bribe wasn't enough or wasn't given on time.
I wanted to say China is, but I don't even want to say it. But just hearing that alone, the doctor, whoever botched it, they purposefully, you know, they only gave me $50. I should have got at least, at least 200. Screw this person. And made complications, bro. That's absolutely fucked.
So it's kind of like a safety net. So the thing is, the reason I'm talking about this is what happens is a family will send in their family member who's sick. They'll pay this bribe. And then if the family member dies or there's massive complications or something like that, then they take revenge out on the doctors and the nurses. And I mean, this is something that as
So they're pretty much like, yo, I gave you this money to do your finest. I gave you a thou wow to do your finest. This is their mindset. That person, my grandma, my, whoever, shouldn't have died because I gave you that thou wow. Or if their mindset was, I gave you that thou wow and you purposefully killed them because I didn't give you more. Bro. Like, either way you think about it, it's fucked because then now they're going, revenge. They're saying, yo, they killed them. We gave them money. They killed them. Even though complications happen, complications happen. A surgery is not a sure thing. It's not 100% sure thing. So their mindset is, because I gave you this money, this person will not die. You better be a god. You better be a miracle worker. You better have an angel above you to do this. And they died, so they're taking revenge out because of bro. I can't.
It affected me personally because my wife is a doctor, and yeah, she almost got attacked once, and I had to go put up security cameras in her clinic. And it's one of those situations where it would affect the people I knew, but we walked past a clinic that had just been attacked, and it was a horrific scene. We can't. We'll get demonetized. Horrific. But it's the whole point we're trying to get at here is that attacks against medical staff in China is a big problem.
Yeah.
So she has this obviously to fend off, to like pretend like she has a cleaver in case anyone comes in and threatens them. Makes sense, right? But it's actually pretty cool though. I mean, you got to be yeah, you got to really admire that interesting case design.
Yeah. Very very unique.
Yes, because it looks like she has a cleaver in her pocket.
Imagine being able to build anything.
I'm sorry, guys.
Just
I don't
by
got
thinking
premium.
about it. Meet
I don't
Base
got
44.
premium, okay? I'm sorry.
This dude, oh wow, he knew something was up.
He knew something was up, and this is something you'll see quite a bit in China.
And this other guy's like, "Oh, why did he run away? I wonder."
Truck stops in China are a little different. You get these very ratty trucks.
Boom, look at that.
And what they're usually doing when they pull over is they're adding water to their load.
Yeah, Josh, right? Well, to the braking system.
To the braking system and to the load to stop the dust. Because what happens is they can lose a lot of the product out of the back because it like blows away. So they'll actually like weigh it, they'll spray it down. The problem is that actually overweighs their truck.
Yeah, well, they overload them anyway.
Yeah, but then they have to pay the bribes at the weighing stations, and then the roads get all messed up. They become these like half pipes.
I'm sorry, but y'all really got to look into their society because they hate us. They hate America, and they believe that we're poor over here. They believe that we're, we botch everything. We don't do anything right. They believe their buildings are better than us. They believe their bridges are better than ours. And they purposefully overfill their trucks. And then when they get to like a weighing station, they're like, yeah, you're overweight, bro. They're like, but am I though? And the person will just be like, go. It sounds like bribes pretty much run the country from the highest tier to the lowest tiers. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen anywhere else. That clearly happens everywhere else. But where they will make their society run on bribes, like truckers have to overfill their trucks so they can get more done. And then in order for them to get more done, they have to bribe their way. Like, bro, it just all sounds bad. It just all sounds bad.
We'd be riding in China, like around some of these places on a newer roads, too. Very new roads. And it was like Tony Hawk's Pro motorcycle.
It was awesome.
It's kind of awesome, but also
scary,
terrifying.
Very scary.
Long story short, they also have these stops where people change tires. I knew a lot of people up in Inner Mongolia that would fix truck tires and truck wheels because they get just destroyed.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, when you're dealing with these big truck tires, the pressures are massive. And when mistakes happen, it can be fatal. But this guy knows what he's doing. He saw this thing was about to explode and he ran away, which was good.
Like, he's been through that before. He absolutely knew what was about to happen. He's been through that before.
Yeah. Nobody got injured, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. What is next?
Click thumbs up, by the way. Helps us out a lot.
Oh, we wanted to ask you, the audience, what is happening here? What's going on?
Bro. This person is fucking stealing. And in order for them to not be seen, they came up with an ingenious plan. They said there's a camera up there. It's gonna see me if I just take this package. I got this umbrella here. Bro,
On here.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
can
sorry.
I have a prediction?
Sure.
Because I actually don't know.
Okay.
I'm going to say this is a rare.
Sorry, I'm spoiling our next clip there, but I just wanted to play this again. You can see this was on the 19th, right? So it was like 3 days ago.
Bro.
It's important. because
Okay.
If it happened a week before, wouldn't be relevant.
Well, that's what everybody in the Chinese shills will be like, what? It's so old. China
I
changes
know,
so
it's just-
fast
I'm
in
being
3 days. Yeah. Anyway, but look at this. Okay, so what do you think's happening?
I think this is a rare. It's called a building jellyfish.
Yeah, it's like a rare sea creature.
red.
It looks like a sea creature, doesn't it? Yeah.
And it is just enveloping its prey.
Yes.
What do you think? Actually, you probably know.
I know the story behind this. Okay. so-
Should I read some?
yeah,
chat?
yeah. Read what some people are saying because I'm curious what you guys think this is.
Someone is hungry, malfunctioning umbrella. Someone is stealing an umbrella. Someone is stealing food. Someone's hiding from a camera. Umbrella of doom. A giant squid. A umbrella monster. Human crab. Hermit crab.
Yeah.
Someone's stealing a purse. Hiding from the camera, stealing. She's collecting an important pharmacy package.
Okay, well, I mean, we've got a couple of guesses, but you're all wrong.
Box
Damn,
is a fun
I'm
and convenient
wrong.
way for you to unbox some of your favorite rare trading cards. They have a Thrive.
Yes.
What happened here was this person called in.
It's more elaborate, right?
Yes.
I'm
this-
assuming.
Yeah, this person called in for a delivery. Now, of course, everything's delivered in China because
Okay.
you've got so many delivery people, okay, and it's incredibly cheap.
Okay.
She ordered food,
Mm-hmm.
all right, and she told the delivery driver to leave the food in the elevator.
Okay.
And you know, like you can,
That's kinda
I know it's weird, but you know, you can give delivery instructions.
Yeah, that's true. That's
So you know, leave it at the front desk
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. She told him to leave
especially
it.
like an office, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said, leave it in the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Comes up. She went and hid herself with the umbrella, grabbed it,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the app said that she never received it and then requested a refund.
Like, don't get me wrong. This happens in America too. People will receive their package, say, while eating their fucking food like a fucking badass, they will eat their shit while hitting that didn't receive food. Refund, please. But this person was so meticulous, they were like, leave it in the elevator. So, that person was like, weird, okay. Left it in the elevator. And so this person wouldn't be seen. They decided, dogs, that was
And seriously.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, that's big
and,
brain thinking.
and the thing is, like, they couldn't prove that she got the thing or not.
That's true because you don't know who
You don't know who was underneath the umbrella. So that was the whole point of it. Dude, there's something we haven't covered on our show, but we probably should have.
all you have to do is do some big brain investigation. Next time it's raining outside, you stake the building, you wait to see that umbrella, that exact color. There's probably, a bunch of umbrellas. How many are going to be the same color? Let's say 3 in a building. In the entire building, the umbrella color will probably be 3 of this. Like, let's say 3 people have that same color. Now, you go back to the app, you see if it was a female or if it was a male. Honestly, after that, you just fucking shake down each person with that fucking umbrella and you say, dog, oh my goodness, that would piss me, bro. I would do that. I would do that investigation to find, like, you already have their name for one. So you can probably already see what they look like. You can probably, like, it probably, if not, do some online searching, do some deep research, get into the deep net. Like I would literally go that fucking far. I would go that far to find that person that fucked me. If I was, because that person is not getting paid. Then that person that they are stealing. They're not stealing from the restaurant. No, they are. They're stealing from the restaurant, and they're stealing from the person that delivered the fucking food. That person doesn't get paid.
Right now in China, there's this massive thing going on because there was a new policy put in place where you get free returns within a certain amount of days. I don't know the exact amount of days.
Like nationwide or just a certain store?
I think it's through, I don't know the exact details, but it's either through Taobao, it could be nationwide, it could just be through a store, but people are taking advantage of it crazily. So what's happening now is, especially women and live streamers and that kind of thing, they'll order a dress or a blouse or whatever, leave the tags on, wear it for however long the period is. Say it's 20 days, they'll wear it for like 19 days, and then they return it to get their money back. And there's some kind of like a no questions asked return policy right now. And so people aren't buying clothes anymore. They're just, buying them and returning them.
Yeah, that's the thing is that before, I mean, this happens all the time in America.
Yeah,
it's
but
very common. But the difference is that it'll become such a copycat. So it'll be something that your aunt did it or your neighbor did it.
Yeah,
Right?
sure.
But in China, it'll become such a copycat phenomenon that it will actually change an industry.
Well,
it's not an outlier.
I think the big difference is that in other countries, when people do it, they don't brag about it.
No, it's definitely
you're kind of like, oh, you hide the tag.
Yeah.
Now the influencers are on
It's like you're
purpose. They're
bragging.
like, look, and they show the tags.
Yeah.
And so it's become such a phenomenon that people are just no longer buying clothes. They're just borrowing them, so to speak.
Well, and like I said, it'll be so pop because it's copycat culture.
Yeah,
in
it's
China.
destroying a whole industry.
Then everyone will do it, right? Or the huge chunk of people will do
All of these clothing, shops that are selling these things online are losing money now.
That's crazy.
It's become such a big thing. Anyway, this is kind of related, so I wanted to bring that in. Okay, let's move on. That's really ridiculous. Just once again, a little warning about lithium-ion batteries, especially if you have a Chinese...
Play it so long.
Is it long?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. If you have a Chinese scooter, whether it's one of those Razor-style ones or an e-bike or something, park it outside. Don't leave it. Don't charge it in your house or in your foyer or whatever you call it. On your porch.
Foyer, we call it.
They don't even have a plugged in to anything.
Your entryway.
People in the South call it
your
mud
refectory,
up and
your
poof.
mudroom.
It just went up
Don't
in
put it in there. Leave it outside.
To be able to entertain our friends better, so I invented this automatic coffee maker. The design is very human. Let me demonstrate. Pour in the coffee. Start brewing.
That scared me. Yo!
Feed the coffee to our friend's mouth. No one who's used it has ever given this coffee maker a bad review. Very easy to use.
Because they're
if you're a
fucking
producer
dead.
who hates AI, this plugin might change your
I'm
mind.
sorry,
this
guys.
is
I
reimagining
need premium.
co-producer.
Every time an ad comes on, I'll tell you I need premium.
I love it.
So, because I need premium, you guys should subscribe, like the video, and share it to your friends. They won't enjoy it. You won't enjoy it because I got fucking ads. But listen, I'm funny. And we share the facts out here. Let's get going.
Just pause it real quick. Yeah, that guy's been doing videos for years now, and I thought the reason I included it, I thought he's got to run out of steam at some point.
Nope.
He is still coming up with hilarious inventions.
We featured him a few times in
did.
Shaban Ho. Yeah,
he's great. It's good stuff.
So guys, Chengguan. You guys know Chengguan by now, I'm sure.
Yes, they are
urban
China's
management.
Thugs. Yeah, we'll call them thugs.
Yeah, they're kind of like thugs attached to the police. They have authority.
They're the lowest level of police, and they do the stuff that police don't want to be associated with.
Yeah. So there's a thing in China, there are a lot of laws on paper. Very few of these laws are actually enforced. That's why when you go to China, you think it's very free because you see people just doing the most ridiculous things.
Sure.
And you yourself, especially as a foreigner, when you can't speak the language and so on, you can go there and you're like, no one's stopping me from rolling around drunk on the street, so it must be a free country. Meanwhile, it's just, they will stop you if you roll around on the street drunk and say something bad about Xi Jinping. Then you're done. You know what I mean? But they'll tolerate your nonsense.
They don't take you
so
in.
What happens is people need to make money, okay? And farmers and, you know, small mom and pop growing stuff in their backyard.
This is a really sticky situation because they need to make money still. And just like America, just like the Americas, you know, we need permits to sell on the fucking streets. It's like, this is supposed to be a public space. Everyone can be here, but to sell things, you need a permit to do that. And public space, which is bullshit, which, you know, whatever. So these are situations where I can see, yeah, these people need to make money. They're probably farmers. They probably farm these sugar canes, these fruits, whatever else, but they just can't afford a permit. You know, it would be too expensive to try and sell every day, not really make much sales, and then still need to buy a permit. I don't know. It's a really sticky situation, so I understand what they're getting.
They have to set up these little stalls and sell their vegetables, sell the street food, that kind of thing. There's sugar cane. But they go and they sell them on the side of the road or in these pedestrian walkways where they're not supposed to. Because, you know, in China does have all these laws about you can't block the roadway, you can't block the sidewalk.
The laws in China mean you can't do anything.
Yeah, you actually can't do anything.
You can't live.
But the way China works is you just do something until they tell you to stop. You know, but unfortunately, the way that the Chongguan behave is very bad.
And the Chongguans in these cases are enforcers. They're like security guards. The guys that think they're cops, but they're not. You know, that's what these guys are that they're talking about.
And then we'll show you some examples here. They just come and start they're like, get this crap out the road.
This is a market.
Yeah.
It's where people need to make a living.
Yes, that's where people come.
But see, it's not a market. It's public road. And Chinese people are opportunistic people. They know where traffic is, people are. So they're going to take opportunities. They're going to see these, you know, opportunities to, oh, there's traffic coming here. So they're not necessarily following the law. So these people, these Chongguans, aren't necessarily in the wrong, but you know, it's a really sticky situation because I can feel for both situations. One situation, they're probably poor, they're probably in poverty, they're probably, you know, they need to make money somehow, and the only way, plus, very old society. These people selling on the side of the road are old. Probably their only source of income. They've probably been doing it for generations, honestly. And they need to sell food to make money. They probably have no other way of making money. So they need to do this. But it's like, there's probably designated stalls. There's probably designated places where you get a permit. It's sounding like there's no permit in the situation. It's just you can't block the roads. You can't block these roads because cars and people are coming through, and you're blocking it. You're basically blocking. I'm trying to think of another fucking word, but I can't. And you're impeding traffic, essentially.
Come to buy their fruit and stuff in the morning.
And they're poor.
Yeah, of course, they don't have a choice. But look, they come in force, as you can see here. Here they come.
Oh, look at all of them. That's a lot of Chongguan.
Yeah.
Urban stability management.
Yeah. You can see they've already got a lot of stuff on the back of their little truck. See, they actually steal people's goods. You can't get them back.
Yeah, and they make their own black market.
So they're
living off of stealing people's motorcycles.
Oh my goodness! So it's not even a move this, get this out of here. No, they're probably taking this shit. They're probably taking what they want. Cause they're not taking everything. They're not going to every single fucking stall and taking shit. No, they're taking exactly what they want. They're like, yo, yeah, I could probably use these at home. And they got a fucking truckload. Look, they're not even going over to this guy. They went over to this guy's stall and started taking shit, bro. This is fucked. Like, literally, that should be illegal. Like, the only thing they could do is tell these people to pack it up and leave. No, they are not telling them to pack it up and leave. They're packing up their shit and then telling them to leave. They're still telling them to get the fuck out, but they're taking what they want and then getting, society is fucked.
Yes.
And then selling them their food carts, selling them kerosene tanks, selling them fruit, selling.
Yeah. Because look, the poor seller's trying to stop them. She can't stop them. There's no way you're going to stop them. They're going to take all your goods and you can't get them back. And, unfortunately, this hits the lowest sort of level of society. The people that are eking out a living selling fruit. That's everything.
Yo.
I mean, yeah, the margins are nothing.
He's gonna go back.
Like, what are you gonna do now?
No, he's gonna stop it. I gotta go back. These people, they literally went to one stall, took all their shit. The other people were like, okay, pack it up, guys. We gotta go. We gotta get the fuck up out of here. These people literally packed it up. They literally started packing up. They were literally, okay, we're gone. We're out of here.
Level of society. The people that are eking out a living selling fruit. I mean, that's everything gone.
I mean, yeah, the margins are nothing. Right?
Yeah. But like, what are you going to do now? You're done.
You're done.
Yeah. How are you going to earn your money for the day? How are you going to pay back the vegetable fruit people that you bought it from? Or if it's your own fruit, now you have to grow it again and wait another year.
True.
Anyway, what's Dumpling Man up to?
That's fucked. That's fucked, bro. I'm sorry, guys. I need premium. So please subscribe.
Let's see. Down one. Okay. Oh, interesting. You skipped it.
I didn't. Oh. You didn't put it in there. And then you cut to a dog. What are you doing?
Well, you know what? You're just going to have to wonder what was happening in this clip.
I guess.
Okay. Or maybe it will continue later. Maybe it's a little treat.
Maybe.
Oh, let's see what happens to this little dog.
Yeah.
This happened the other day. This man says, I might kick this dog.
He deserved that.
Yeah.
He deserved that big time.
Listen. There's very little enjoyment in fucking with the street animals. There's very little enjoyment. But when you do find enjoyment like an asshole, and then you literally just fucking curb stomp it, you literally just fucking fly in the air.
The other day.
And then you think to yourself, why the fuck am I on the ground? Then he's probably mad at the dog even more. Whatever anger he had, like he probably stepped on some shit, and he was like, "That was you, you little shit." And he probably knew. Like they've had interactions for years. They probably know each other. That's exactly why that dog stopped. That dog stopped like, you gonna do something? And he stopped like, wait a minute. I stepped in your shit yesterday, you little shit. And that's exactly the thought process going on right now. Is he's mad because he stepped in some shit. He's like, what the fuck? What do you want? So then this plays out.
Man says, I might kick this dog.
Absolutely curb stomped.
He deserved that. He deserved that big time.
So now he's even more mad at the dog. Next time he sees the dog again, he's probably gonna punk kick that, like.
I always love those kind of clips. Aren't they great? It's like karma.
I wonder. Here's the deal. Pause that real quick.
Yeah.
He goes out. Can we see it again?
Yeah, sure. By the way, again, that was the 19th. We're talking 3 days ago.
I just said that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, good thing you said it again.
I like saying things twice.
Okay, so there's a dog.
I didn't even hear it the first
dog,
time.
A cute dog.
I'm gonna be honest.
Not causing any trouble.
No, it's just chilling.
Guy comes.
Listen. It probably didn't cause trouble today. Listen, I mean, that hate he had came from somewhere. That hate came from somewhere. I'm telling you, bro.
Oh, a little dog. I better go hurt
Well,
this dog.
yeah, you can see the dog's terrified. It knows that this guy's a bad man.
He knows him.
Yeah, exactly.
Think he knows him?
Well, he just knows he's a bad man by look. Dogs can smell fear. Yeah, that's excellent. What an excellent thing to happen.
What happens here is interesting because he's clearly going to his car.
Yeah.
Right. Or at least crossing the road. And he's like, "Oh, I hurt my hand," and then he goes back in. He's like, for what? What is he gonna go be like? How dare you?
Yeah,
for a Band-Aid.
I think maybe he's gonna go try and blame the shop owners. Oh, your dog made me fall over, or maybe that was a clinic and he's just left and now he has to go back in because he's injured himself.
Would it not be hilarious if that happened on the way in, and then that's why he was in the clinic?
What, that he fell over?
That he fell because he tried to hurt the dog, and then he comes out and he tries to get his revenge.
Maybe
that would be incredible.
Looks like your dumpling clip's back. By the way.
Yeah, so this is the sequel to the first part of the clip, I guess. I think it just got broken up.
Yeah, it looks like it.
This reminds me of like Fruit Ninja or something.
Yeah. I hope this is a twist. Is that it? That was lame, dude. That was one of the lamest things I've seen all month.
Let's see you do it. Let's see you do it. I bet you don't have moves like that, cool guy.
I'm talking about the entire concept behind that clip.
That's deep. If you think about it, it makes you take a step back and say, dumplings, when you break it down into its constituent components,
don't even try.
You have pork, which is actually from an animal. You don't eat a dumpling and think
it's
of a
just like,
pig.
oh, dude,
that
of course
gave
you
up
do.
Its life.
Of course you do.
You don't.
I do. You don't.
You look at a dumpling and you say, oh, pig.
Of course, if it's a pork one. If it's a vegetable one, I'm thinking of the tomatoes screaming.
Guess what? That's exactly good. Well said, because that's exactly what happened there. There was other ingredients in there.
Dude, you're trying to make something out of nothing here.
When you break it down, and the way he was very like artful in his motions.
When you break it down, it's a lame clip.
It's really incredible.
It's super lame.
Probably one of the nicest.
Anyway, let's move on. What's this? This is the inventor guy again, right?
No.
Oh,
I'm trying to pause that.
Wait, is this?
You can
is
choose
this
to raid
dog
the caravan,
pregnant?
or you can choose to guard it. This is a game where slaying
Guys,
monsters.
I apologize again.
Some people
I
are
need
saying
premium.
this is like kind of like a
subscribe.
virtual girlfriend type idea.
I think it's maybe just a dancing aid. Teach you how to dance.
Yeah, but then people are getting disturbed by it.
Oh,
because I don't like it.
It looks weird.
It's pregnant.
I like that one bit. I guess it could dance with you. I don't. Yeah, I mean, do you need that as a dancing aid?
I mean, just to practice. You know, it's probably better than just dancing with air.
Why does it gotta have a bag? Like, it doesn't just
I have
cave
no idea.
Yo.
So this is a joke that needs a little bit of explaining.
Okay, you're gonna explain this joke.
Please
'Cause
do.
This is not a real insect, obviously.
Okay, thank you.
This is not.
Okay, good.
The fact that you have to point that out worries me a little bit.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty weird stuff.
So there is a joke.
Like a horseshoe crab.
What?
That's a weird thing.
Yeah, I caught them.
Yeah.
Caught,
Yeah, they're weird.
Very cool animals.
Yeah,
These guys, bro. These guys.
Prehistoric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a joke.
Okay.
On the Chinese internet. And
is it about dumplings?
No.
Okay.
There always has been a joke.
Okay.
On the Chinese internet about Guangdong people, Cantonese people, people from the south of China, right?
Yeah.
And they eat everything, right?
Everything that back faces the sun except for a table.
Yes.
You know, anything on 4 legs or whatever.
Except
the table. Yeah, or a chair. Yeah. And it's kind of true.
Yeah. So there's a thing though, is that they've been leaning into the joke because they've now been saying, well, I bet they even eat cockroaches.
Well, come on, dude. We've shown that a lot.
I know.
People do eat cockroaches.
But they're
in
leaning
China.
into it now. And
Remember the cockroach coffee from last time?
Yes. Remember when we made cockroach coffee?
Yes, but that was by mistake. Just happened to be a colony of cockroaches in our coffee machine, and we only found out why it was tasting bad when we opened it up and saw all the dead cockroaches inside. Thanks.
And live ones.
Yeah, and thanks for reminding me.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Anyway, getting back to
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Fucking gross.
This is the Guangdong people, the Cantonese people, are now making food that looks like cockroaches as a joke to be like, yeah, hell yeah, we eat cockroaches.
Okay.
So this is actually pretty inventive. If you look at this bad boy.
Okay.
I mean, the detail here is pretty incredible.
The detail
It's
is
absolutely vile.
But
It's that red bean with custard type thing.
Yes. It ends up being a dessert bun.
I still wouldn't want to eat it.
Because of the way it looks?
Yeah.
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 Gotcha. I think
Anyway.
you're right.
Yeah. I mean, in a pinch, but I wouldn't want to. I'd like deform it first.
no.
I wish I had said that was just a massive cockroach and seen what people had said first. That probably would have been way more entertaining.
Yeah, true.
You know? Anyway, this
Yeah.
is
There's a teacher, right?
let's just say a teacher that students I don't think like very
Okay.
much.
All right. Like building her in The Sims. Okay. Interesting.
You guys remember this
Okay. Yeah.
from last week? Well, guess what? ... You remember this? Remember this
but
episode?
that's the wrong thumbnail.
No, but it's
Okay.
a thumbnail that some people would have seen.
Oh, no, did we do the A/B test? I don't think so.
Oh, we didn't. Well,
No.
either way, that was our last episode.
Yeah.
And it was about a
It
bridge
looks like
collapse.
China's
Okay.
no
And-
fucking way. No fucking way. It looks like China's new bridge, or China's brand new bridge collapsed, and we found the real reason why.
And
Yo.
lo and behold, we got this little message.
Yeah. So, quick recap. Last week, our video about the bridge that collapsed.
We'll just
right?
show you in a second.
Yeah. It went out. It was getting good views.
It was almost viral.
Yeah, it was one of our best episodes in a long while. And then
Performance-wise, yeah.
I woke up for some reason in the middle of the night, like about 1 a.m., and I checked my phone, and it had been age restricted. People were notifying me that they couldn't view the video anymore. And if you know anything about YouTube, if it gets age restricted, if a video gets age restricted, you cannot watch it unless you signed in. A lot of people don't like to sign in to watch videos.
Tens of percents of people don't sign in to watch
On
our
top
videos.
of that, YouTube doesn't
I mean, that
promote
means
it
they can't
anymore
subscribe,
because there's no
though.
reason. They can't get ad money from it or whatever. So it killed the video. Okay. And so immediately I did the appeal and it was rejected almost immediately. This is what we showed. Okay. Which is the Hongqi Bridge, which had only been open for, 3 months?
Yeah, well,
Couple of
more
months.
concrete,
Oh, since
January.
since January it was when it was
That's
being completed. Right?
wild.
So only a couple of months, and then it collapsed, which is a big embarrassment for China.
It was a mega project.
Yeah, it is.
It's one of those vanity projects that they get people to say America's doomed.
Alright, so this isn't that one bridge, that brand new spectacular bridge, because it was fucking engineered by I believe like an Indian person or something. It was not engineered, like their head engineer was someone else. It was not them. But that it's not that bridge. It's not the bridge I was thinking of.
China's figured everything out. Look at our.
Yeah, look at how great and quick China builds all these things. So
That's crazy. 3 months though, and it collapsed. Like, only reason bridges over here collapse, it's not due to default manufacturing. It's not due to, default engineering. It'll be due to a landslide or something environmental, earthquake. No, literally, you're telling everyone 3 months time. Bye bye new bridge. That's wild.
of course,
Got a lot of traction.
yeah.
People care about
That's
it.
wild. That's
It's very weird that you'd age
insane.
restrict that because I combed through the episode multiple times, wasting
Yes.
my weekend,
Yep.
being like, what? Because they didn't tell us why it was age restricted.
Yes, they
Our
did.
views stopped overnight, like that.
Yeah, of course.
Our money was gone.
Mm-hmm.
No one
Money-
got to see it.
Yep.
Yo, YouTube is grimy. I understand views, but you're saying money going like that. What? So it should be like everything that you made up until that point. No, you're saying they just took it all. That's grimy, YouTube.
If it did come up on your feed and you were signed in, it's blurred.
Yeah, you're blurred. You can't see the thumbnail.
It's not recommended.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, there must be something going on here. I comb through, waste all my time. I can't figure it out.
No.
Nothing in this episode seems age restrictable.
Yes.
Okay.
That makes no sense.
So I appeal it. We go, and we can't get into details of the whole YouTube back end of things, but we reached out. They were like, okay, let's figure this out. Right?
Yep.
Takes a week to resolve. In fact, it was
only
just
yesterday. Yesterday, yeah.
It took a week to resolve this.
Yeah.
Finally, they gave us a timestamp.
Yeah.
The timestamp, I could not believe my eyes.
Mhm.
And I had to double, triple, quadruple check.
Do you know why they age restricted our video?
Don't push it.
I kind of want to. I won't.
Would that make a lot of sense?
No.
Nah,
so
y'all can't do that to us. Nah, y'all can't do that to us. You gotta tell us why. Unless you're telling us, it's literally, YouTube will sue you or YouTube will demonetize you if you tell us. That's fucked. That's fucked up. Fuck.
Makes sense to you if I told you that? What if China really doesn't want people to see this bridge collapse video, right?
Yeah, of course they don't.
They're going to try to do, and this is my theory, by the way, they're going to try to do everything possible to try to get this thing taken down.
Yep.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it.
Guys.
Meet Base 44, a complete
So please.
So again, that's all hypothetical speculation. That's what happened. But this timestamp gets sent to us, and they did allow us, which is never allowed. They never really let us chop stuff out and reappeal.
Yeah,
they did. So I thank you to YouTube for doing that.
Yeah, finally.
But it took a week, and it doesn't matter now. Now all the potential for views are gone.
Oh yeah, nobody's gonna watch a week-old video.
It's a week-old video. So we went to the timestamp. Would you care to explain what the timestamp was?
Every time in the, as like a running gag, every time I show coming up in today's China show, I show the little clip of My Little Brony. The British guy got kicked in the balls, where he goes, that thing. That is why it got age restricted, because of that clip of the British guy getting kicked in the balls by the Chinese woman, which is a comedic, funny, tiny little clip, which I use as a joke, a running joke.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, YouTube. Are we just going pussy now? Like seriously, are we just going pussy now? Are we just fucking what?
Because of that, our video got age restricted. Ridiculous.
So we
showed bridges falling down. We showed motorcycle police crashing into cars.
Falling down too.
Exactly. We showed all of these things.
Got mauled.
The reason why we got age restricted was because of My Little Brony, My Brittle Pony, being, kicked in the balls.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
And here's the deal.
Yeah.
What that did was it served to probably erase 200,000 or 300,000 views.
Oh yeah.
Potential views that could have seen this very important story that we covered, because we did a full documentary basically about all the bridge collapses and I documented all the sources. It was very important.
Yeah, sure.
So that means China, because they didn't want that to be seen, so they will go to every video and they're like, well, a bridge falling isn't, age restricted requirements. No, so they found something small, something stupid, and that's grimy, bro. YouTube, are you just being classed by other people? Are you just being held by other people, bro? What?
It took an entire week of work for us, right?
Yeah.
And because of such a stupid little thing, they managed to get that. And to me, that's a little suspect, considering we've played that how many times now?
Every single episode in the beginning. Every single episode. My Brittle Ponies in the coming up in today's China.
So that bro.
Show. You can go back and look. But that one, the bridge one specifically, they're age restricted, and it shows you China must have been mass flagging that or pulling strings with their spies inside of YouTube or something. Who knows? Either way, ridiculous.
Wow.
So we kind of wanted to rub it in a little bit here, guys.
By the way, I just wanted to throw this in.
Yes.
Because China's clearly not happy about this.
Just in 2025, 3 Chinese mega bridges have collapsed.
Literally 3.
Okay.
There's the one in Sichuan that happened the other day.
Mm-hmm. And then we had
one in
this.
Shanghai.
Remember this. This was unfortunate. It was tragic because I think 12 workers lost their lives, I believe.
Yeah.
They were working on it, and the cable snapped and it collapsed. All right?
So, just in 2025, guys. Just in 2025. What does this mean? They have buildings collapsing. The joke around the town is they call the materials tofu drag, meaning it's you know a drywall isn't drywall, it's tofu. Their concrete isn't concrete, it's foam, it's tofu. Their bridges. Shut it down, guys.
This was in, as you say, this was in August.
In August. And this one was in Guizhou.
Correct. Remember with the truck
see the
dangling
truck there, yeah.
off the...
Okay, well, this looks like, see, even if it's due to environmental reason, you still built a bridge there. You still, any mountain, environmental could be the reason, but it would look like that environmental catastrophe was caused due to you building on a mountain. Shut it down, guys.
The edge, and who knows how many cars and so on fell down. Guys, these are big bridges. These are big mega bridges, vanity projects for China. This is top of the pops. These are the bridges that they will put all their effort into making sure they're good, and they still fell down and collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
How many countless small, insignificant bridges have collapsed? I know I've seen tons because, you know, with all the flooding and so on, we see a lot of those little bridges washed away and so on. Must be in the thousands, tens of thousands, who knows? You know?
In the year prior, I mean, we could have, if we expanded this to 2024, it'd be insane.
Yeah. So it's good to remember that in this year alone, up until now, China has already lost 3 massive bridges.
Officially.
Oh, yeah.
There could be more.
So, you know, for instance, I see a lot of propagandists on Twitter and so on saying, oh, China should build America's bridges because America's going to take too long to rebuild that one bridge, wherever it is. Where is it? Baltimore or something?
That got hit by
That got hit by a... Yeah,
That's why it didn't fall over like this.
Yeah, it got destroyed by a third party.
Yeah.
But they're like, China should come in. China builds so fast. China's so good. No.
That's what they're saying about us. That's what China is saying about us. Is that China should build our bridges. Our shit ain't collapsing.
We don't want China to build our stuff. Look at what happens to China's big mega projects that are super important in China in 1 year.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, no thank you.
No thank you.
Yeah.
Look what happened in Serbia.
Yeah, exactly.
No thank you.
No thanks.
They
Montenegro.
built,
No thank you.
China
No thank you.
built
Yeah.
a bridge
Africa,
in
where they
Serbia.
wiped everything out.
Collapsed.
No thank you.
So we decided to have a telethon, guys.
Yes.
We're going to have a telethon because we've told you multiple times now that the best way to support us is on Patreon.
Yes.
Because that can actually fund our show. It funds our second show that we have on Patreon only.
Yep.
Which is called Xiaoban Ho. And you can help us defeat censorship because this is getting out of control. If we're going to lose our entire week's salary and we're going to lose all the exposure with our important messaging trying to get out there, then we need a way to continue this, right? And the only way that really we do continue this is through Patreon.
So we decided throughout the show, guys, if you have the means, of course, we would love for you to sign up for a Patreon account.
At any level, by the way.
Doesn't matter which level.
We decided to have 3 goals. What are
Yep. Goal number 1 is if we get 25 signups,
I'll be watching
there
throughout
will
the
be a bonus holiday hangout video. So we're going to have an extra China show during the holiday season. It's going to be special.
Oh, we just
it's
got
going to be a
one.
big thing.
We just got one.
It's going to be this fantastic. It's going to be this awesome holiday themed thing where we do a Q&A and all sorts of other nonsense, right?
dope.
Goal number 2, did you loop this or do I have to go back?
I did not, yeah.
Okay, you didn't loop it. I actually prepared a special sound bite just in case you hadn't looped it. There we go. All right, let's get back to our goals here. Goal number 2.
What if you could add a Moonbury onto your collection in seconds? Box GG's new vending machines let you pull slabs that are graded by experts like PSA and Beckett and ship them right to your door. There's hundreds of possible
viewers just because of the
Is going to be
goddamn ads.
wait for it to pop up in the background there.
I'm sorry. I'll be
Eventually,
better.
it'll get there. Let's do it.
I need
Goal number 2 is
subs.
going to be a free episode of Xiaoban Ho, which is our VIP show, and it's going to be a special one. Do you want to tell everyone about it?
Yes. So, you mean the one that's coming up?
Yeah. If
Oh,
we
the
hit
one that
50,
you win?
if we hit 50 signups, yeah.
So we're gonna give you the latest episode of Xiaoban Ho, the one that we just did.
Yeah.
Which we'll actually show you a little teaser of in a second.
Yeah.
But we're gonna give you that one, and also we have a very special one coming up here. So just something to look forward to. If you do end up joining the show,
yeah,
you're going to be able to see our new show coming up, which is going to be about revolutionary fantasies, which are the most hilarious daytime TV shows that China plays about killing Japan. And how
Yes.
like one CCP soldier will defeat like 100 Japanese.
Usually like a farmer or something.
Yes.
The third goal is going to be an invitation to this year's Royal Rumble. If we hit 75 signups, that's a stretch. But if we do hit it,
everyone's going to get it.
Everyone's going to be invited, and a week before the actual Royal Rumble, we will release the link so that you guys can.
We just had
join us.
another sign up, by the way.
Oh, wow.
We got 2 already here. Guys, we
Fantastic.
are working on it. So remember, I want to go over those goals really quickly because in this pledge drive, as we try to bring awareness to this sensor. Oh, we just got another one.
Oh, wow. Excellent.
As we drive awareness to this, I want you to know that these goals are going to go to. We're a democratic show. We're also we believe in charity and goodwill. These bonuses go to everybody.
Yeah.
So when you're doing your part, if you have the funds to do this, you're helping everybody get these goals.
Yep.
So if we hit that first goal, we get that bonus holiday hangout for everyone. Do it around Christmas time.
Correct.
If we get that goal 2, everyone gets the latest Xiaoban Ho episode.
Yes.
And if you get that goal number 3, that invitation to the Royal Rumble is usually a paywall thing.
Yep.
A lot of effort, love, and work goes into the Royal Rumble where all the characters in the China show come together and have a wrestling match.
That's right.
And there is one person at the end that is the winner and crowned the Royal Rumble champion.
Super fun.
For that year. It's probably the most fun thing we do all year.
Oh,
We
yeah,
look forward
it's
to
a
it. I wish we
highlight.
had 10 of them during the year.
Yep.
But everyone is going to get the invitation this year.
Correct.
Which is pretty amazing considering how prestigious and amazing and how much work goes into that show.
Yeah.
Everyone will get it.
If we hit that stretch goal, which is amazing if we do. Either way.
I just want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 signups already, guys.
Wow. Okay.
This pledge drive is already going swimmingly.
Yeah, that's
and I want to
insane.
say one more thing.
Sure.
See that text at the bottom there? I don't know. Can you get us out real quick?
Sure.
It says, gift a membership of the China show. So this is probably the best feature here is if you are already a member, because we know there's lots of you guys.
Sure.
If you're already a member here, then you can give it to someone else.
Yeah.
You can gift it. So if you put in someone's email address that you think might like this show, you can spread the love in that way.
Yes.
Number 2, just something to think about. All of these levels are going to go towards this goal.
Yes.
Number 1. Number 2, only the $10 and $20 tier will get you access to our bonus show on Monday, just so you know, so
Yes.
you're aware.
I also
Another
want to
one.
say,
Another one.
guys, I don't like ever, asking for charity or asking for anything like that. So I want you to understand that please only sign up if you have the means. What you're doing is you're signing up to help us continue to help us fight the censorship that we face constantly on a weekly basis from the CCP, especially.
Listen, and I believe the censorship because I'm sub to these guys and I never get a notification of when they drop a new. I gotta find it, and they've talked about this plenty of times. This happens with other channels as well when they talk about China or talk basically China, but when they talk, their videos aren't like it's not findable. I'm curious as to how I believe I had to search like how I found these guys. It was not in the wild. I didn't find them out of the blue. I believed I was searching something China related and saw these guys, and I've been sub to them since. So the shadow bans is, you know, what some people would call it, the censorship. Yeah, it's definitely real.
In today's climate, they have ramped up their political.
What happened to the age restriction?
Yeah, they lean on all the countries with their political might and their money. They've ramped up the propaganda. It's insane the kind of nonsense we're seeing every day.
They're clearly using thousands of bot accounts.
Yeah.
And this has been documented before, right? In other cases, to go and mass report videos.
Yeah. So not only would you be helping us stand up to this and stay on the air, so to speak, but you'll also be getting a really premium show, something that we love and we put
Every
a lot
Monday.
of effort into every single Monday if you join the $10 or $20 tier. And again, I know it's a big ask, so please, only if you have the means.
Also, just want to say one more thing before we move on.
Sure.
And I'll count how many we got after this.
Okay.
But this is a pledge drive. If we somehow magically do hit that top tier goal, it doesn't mean it's over, because again, like you said, that's if you're watching this in post and maybe the goal was hit or maybe it wasn't. Please consider also signing up, because you do get that show and you're going to help us out.
Yeah.
Right. This is a long-term support that we can stay on the air. We can do what we do.
Yes,
right.
exactly.
It's tough what we do.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I'm going to read this real quick.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We're already up to 17.
Wow.
For the first.
I got to say, guys, thank you.
We may hit the first goal.
Thank you so much.
Bro, that's
Seriously,
insane.
donkey, as we say
Listen.
in
18, 19.
They just
19.
started.
19.
Just
We're up to 19. So I'll keep you
just
updated
started.
through the show.
Cool.
We'll
they
come back
didn't
to this a little bit
just
later. We'll
start, but
reconvene.
So anyway,
this
here's a little
video,
preview. If
they
we do hit
already
the
got
second goal,
17.
this is
That's
the
the
episode that we're
goal.
going
That's
to give
insane.
away. This is what we did
That's
on
insane.
Monday.
That's
Super fun.
insane, bro. Props to them. I'm sorry, guys. I know.
Let's take a look.
I know.
Demon Pig is in your bowl. Demon Pig now owns your soul. Demon Pig is here to stay. Get down on your knees and pray. I'm not even going to read that. Oh, man, that is rough.
Can't believe you didn't see that already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Public demonstration of affection
That's hilarious.
will not be tolerated.
Wait,
Yeah,
I'm
enough
sorry.
said.
This is so sad.
There's got to be a
More
new
corpses
day or
in your
something.
yard.
There's got to
From
be
the
a new
time that
day.
you go and poop, you can still spend time with your loved one. Shitty mom. Throw
That's
food in the trash. Bye,
that's
mom.
wild. That's wild.
We're getting onto the final level.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I suppose so. Is our audience ready?
So in that episode, what we did was we doom scrolled the Chinese internet.
Yes.
And then did tier 1 through 5. Tier 1 was relatively mild, and then tier 5 was absolute absurdity and insanity. So we went through the Chinese internet, and you doom scrolled with us. It was a lot of fun.
It was super fun. We had a good time. And of course, if you'd like to join up, feel free, and you'll gain access to all of our 170 plus.
I have to say something.
What's that?
We just hit 25. We just hit goal 1. Goal achieved.
Okay, wow, that's incredible. Where is that? I've got to find my little goal.
I will be putting in the.
They already hit
hangout
goal,
stream.
bro.
So we
That's
will be around
insane.
Christmas time. We will have a holiday stream hangout with you guys. Probably crack some beers.
I can't wait.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Better
with the Q&A.
better be some eggnog over there.
Okay, well, if you want eggnog,
You
I'm
gotta-
not a big fan myself.
You're gonna have to try.
It's very filling.
Yes, well, I got some
It's very
eggnog.
rich.
It's gonna be super fun.
Yes.
We already have some things planned to make it special. Thank you very much, everyone, for helping us hit that first goal.
And keep the goal going, guys, because
Yeah.
we're going to be reconvening and checking out, see if we hit that second goal. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And time to continue with the show. Okay. Yeah, this was the doom scroll one. This is if we hit the second goal. That's what you'll get. Okay, now this has gone viral because I'm not sure if you guys know, but right now China is throwing its toys out the cot. Is that what you say in
toys out the cot.
in America?
I've heard it.
What would you say? What do children
Having a tantrum.
No, I know that, but like, what kind of a bed do children sleep in? Little kids.
Crib.
Crib. So would it be throwing your playthings out the crib?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Something like that.
Toys.
Right?
Toys out of the crib.
Okay.
Oh,
so
that's the
okay.
definition.
So that's what China's doing. So basically, what happened is the new prime minister of Japan, the new female prime minister, is really cool and badass. She said that if China attacked Taiwan, that Japan might have to intervene militarily. And that's all she said. Because that's what friends do. That's what good neighbors do. If someone attacks your neighbor, you help them out.
Taiwan has good relationship with Japan. Japan is allied with the U.S.
China really went ballistic over these comments.
Oh my God.
They have... I've been combating this every single day on X, but the Chinese embassy, all Chinese officials, Chinese military accounts, everything have been posting these non-stop, very aggressive, Japan will be destroyed, beaten into the dust and all this kind of stuff. If Japan even tries...
Listen, the Japan hate from China, unresolved trauma, bro. They got unresolved trauma for what has it been? More than years. Has it been centuries? Or sorry, has it been decades? Absolutely insane. Their hate, their disdain, they're teaching their hate to their children in schools. They're teaching them to step on Japan's flag in schools. Like the children have to step on the flag before they enter the schools. China, bro, get it together. Y'all, I understand like what happened. If for no one that understands what happened, do your research. I don't want to get into it right now, but they are just carrying this hate for years, and they absolutely just believe wholeheartedly, fully, like Chinese people will show disdain to Japanese people that are traveling. Like if a Japanese person is traveling, is a tourist in China, and a Chinese person can tell by their accent, they will just show the utmost disrespect to that person. And years have passed. It basically just comes out to me as children still angry. Like no one's gonna grow up. No one's going to forgive. I guess I'm not the right person to, although Black America, but I'm just saying it just doesn't make sense to me.
Japan must rescind their remarks. Japan must take back what they said. They will suffer. It's been the most ridiculous, crazy tantrum I've seen. It's been a very long time. And, bear in mind, I was in China for 2 massive anti-Japanese riots where they were smashing shops and turning cars over and all of this kind of thing, which I witnessed with my own eyes. The government can turn on this anti-Japanese rhetoric very quickly. And it's gone.
You can make serious money streaming with Rumble Studio.
How?
Here's how.
What are these ads?
Start earning on day one.
A guy can't even watch for
ballistic.
At least
so, as part of all this fallout,
straight.
You've got over here, you've got the information, right?
Yeah, I'll read it. A video of Masaki Kanai, Director General of the Asian and Oceanian Affairs Bureau of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, bowing to Liu Jinsong, Director General of the Department of Asian Affairs of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as they were leaving the Chinese ministry after their meeting there on November 18th, has gone viral on Chinese social media. The video will show Liu donning a Zhongshan suit and talking down to Kanai with a stern gaze while keeping his hands in his pockets, presenting to viewers an image of Japan being humiliated in China, proudly achieving a victory. So first let's show it and then I'll explain the actually.
Yeah, let's take a look. So it looks like he's bowing down.
So the guy on the left is Japan.
Yes.
The guy on the right is China.
Honestly, just look at this guy though. Just look at his body language, his demeanor. He already feels superior to this man. He you can already tell by his body language, he absolutely feels 100% superior to this man. And this man it looks like he's showing respect. It looks like he's doing what the culture normally does, which is bow. But wow, I'm just disgusted.
The guy on the right's just being very rude and impolite. Yeah, see, with his hands in his pockets. Yeah.
Okay, so that went viral.
Now that particular picture of the Japanese official bowing down there was turned into cartoons, turned into memes, turned into big.
It's like finally,
it's like
we're standing up for Japan.
Proud Chinese, Japan cowers beneath our might type thing.
Yeah.
That was going everywhere, along with all these official, statements from the government saying that Japan will suffer if they try. All sorts of basically saying we're going to just come and invade you and no one's going to stop us. We'll destroy you.
Stuff,
yeah, terrible things, which very undiplomatic things. What does it turn out to be actually?
So can you get to that freeze frame of him bowing?
Do I go back or forward?
You can go back a little bit.
Okay, I'll go back.
Just so the context is correct when we look at it.
Okay, well sorry, I'm getting there.
Ripping.
Brother.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to do it right here. Okay.
All right, so watch. Remember, the Japanese guy's on the left, Chinese guy's on the right. Okay, so if we look, Chinese guy standing awkwardly.
Yeah.
Arrogantly, with his hands in his pockets, and the Japanese guy awkwardly bowing. Turns out, if you look closely, Kanai, the Japanese guy, was actually lowering his head.
Yes.
To pay attention to what his translator was saying.
Yeah, so the guy in the middle there is talking to him, so he's kind of like leaning into, what are you saying? The guy's probably saying this Chinese diplomat sucks.
And then, of course, the Chinese are taking this as a W. The Chinese are like, look at our respected leader, whoever he is. Look at him giving it to the Japanese, whatever they say and discuss to the. It's just really stupid. It's really stupid.
I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah, he's definitely not saying that.
You sure?
Yeah. Can we make it not so that there's not two bad guys here?
Sure. I'm just kidding. But
so he's listening to his translator. Yeah. That's why he's not actually bowing to the Chinese official.
Right.
Yes.
The video turns out to have been released by a state media affiliated CCP-owned China Media Group.
Correct.
So it was taken out of context from the top. It wasn't one of those things where it's a telephone game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This was sent out to be misinterpreted from
clippers. CCP are basically propaganda clippers for anything, for literally anything, bro.
The CCP itself.
Correct.
For
Makes
political
sense.
fodder.
Makes sense.
So this was going, and I know a lot of you in chat are like, how is this even a big deal? It's not, but China made it.
They made it a big deal.
And that's why it's so crazy.
It went completely viral. But the problem is not only in China, they have to spread this crap onto our social media as well. So if you're on Twitter, if you follow anything in the China sphere, you would have had this shoved in your face as usual. I cannot get away from every minute of every day China's releasing some or other threatening thing. Yeah,
this is the big thing.
And this was seen as a massive win for them. Okay, but of course,
kind of like sad.
It's sad. The dude looks like he's trying to be Kim Jong-un or something.
Yeah, what's with the Zhongshan?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's normal, but it's the way he's standing.
Yes.
Anyway.
It looks like one of those gangsters. I'm sorry, guys.
They cut it in order to try and make it look like it was humiliating. But of course, Chinese dissidents are using AI to fight back. And this is what the kind of thing they're putting out, which is pretty hilarious. This is my favorite part.
They're using AI.
Yeah, they like
to make new scenarios. Normally we don't support AI, but that's why we labeled it.
Yeah, exactly. This is my favorite. That's why I had his hand in his pockets.
He proposes to it.
Yeah. It's my absolute favorite.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Yes. Here's the thing, guys. You cannot take China seriously. Okay, when the Chinese embassy and the Chinese officials are out there threatening Japan and putting out these horrible statements, which in fact we've got a couple to show you. Things like this. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson. Militarism must never be revived in Japan. The post-World War II international order must never be challenged. World peace and stability must never be ruined again. That sounds reasonable, but if you combine it with the threats that they've been making against Japan, it's not reasonable. The fact that this is one of, and I kid you not, hundreds of these kinds of posts. This is the mildest one.
Yeah, China's acting very belligerent against Japan and the U.S. right now, and I'm very surprised that people are taking it.
Yeah.
It's really rude stuff.
Yeah,
Truly, and Trump is doing this threats, back, and it's really stupid. It's like, why are we not cracking down? Why are we not just shutting them down? I understand they're a huge economy powerhouse. They're huge, but it's like, come on, guys, come on now. They need to ship all of their stuff to us. They ship a lot of their stuff to us. What are we doing?
Anyway, this is the kind of thing coming out of China, but they are really crazy. And people are now taking those and turning it into memes, like stop spamming sites you block your own citizens from using. Authoritarian governments are afraid of their own people. And this is something that I think this is the correct approach when it comes to China. Because China's trying to be this bully, trying to be this stern, we're powerful and you must cower now. You must...
It's like, but why are you blocking your own people? They preach, their TikTok, and like they don't want to share the filth, or they don't want their people to consume the filth. Like, honestly, in my opinion, North Korea, China, not so different. There's a facade of being different because there's more, more free will that they make it seem like, but in reality, it's like, but is it really? But I get it. Yeah, people can go wherever. People can. Hey, you're not as bad as North Korea, but you're pretty damn close.
Answer to your, and you know what? There are a bunch of paper tigers, as we say, or paper dragon, or something like that. They're a bunch of bullies. They whine. They're cry bullies. They're always playing the victim all the time. And you know what? When they're posting all this stuff on our social media, we should tell them to F off, because they should go post that to their own citizens in China. Should post this stuff on Weibo.
Yeah, because you don't let your own citizens use this.
Don't post this crap on X and on Facebook and on YouTube and places like that where your own citizens can't even see it.
They're doing it for propaganda. And then, I just realized they're doing it for propaganda reasons, of course. But they're blocking their own people from seeing that, because their own people are going to be like, that's not the case. So they're blocking their own people from seeing their propaganda that's not true, of course. And their own people would just absolutely shit on it. So they're stopping their own people from shitting on it. They're basically stopping the people that would be able to, set the facts actually straight. Oh, how can anyone set the facts straight if the actual people can't fucking see what they're saying, what they're doing, what they're spewing, what the bullshit they're spewing. And then, of course, people, Chinese, if they're blocked from seeing Facebook, TikTok, X, of course, there's still Chinese that VPN exists. There's still those that will see it, but not all. Not 100%. It's not 100, because they blocked it.
We don't want to hear your incessant yapping, because that's what it is. It's constant. It's like an annoying little dog yapping at your heels. Japan's bad, Japan's bad, Japan's bad, Japan's bad. That's all I've been seeing every day, every minute of the day. And it's so annoying. Bad. You know what I mean? Get out of here, China. Go post your junk on your own stuff and leave us alone. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the way things are going. But I love what people are putting out now. If you believe communist propaganda that grossly distorts history, you have a problem with your intelligence.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44. This is a first look at the current...
using their template.
Yeah, by using their template. And I approve of that. And
in reality, Japan and Taiwan are coming together quite nicely.
These are the good guys, the guys you see over here. They believe in friendship and love, whereas the Communist Party of China is insecure, filled with rage and hatred towards their neighbors, rather than being friends. They're not good friends. They're not good allies. They're not allies with anyone other than themselves. They absolutely believe that China is the center of the universe and the Chinese way is the only way and everyone else must serve them. So this over here, if you guys ever want to make a statement, you can post this picture out there and say, these are the good guys. Japan and Taiwan getting along. Two fantastic countries who are
friends
cooperating.
and allies of America.
They're democracies, and of course they're friends and allies. And they don't hack our infrastructure. They don't try to undercut us and send fentanyl into our countries, that type of thing. They don't knock off our designs and steal everything, all our IP.
They trade and partner with us and keep the world a safer place.
Exactly. So anyway, good guys. And they don't yap all the time. Let's move on.
They don't spew fucking
Oh, we have a
bullshit.
word, and this is a cool word. You guys ready?
Nonsensical.
Let's do it.
Blah, bullshit.
Holiday season is here. And what better way to celebrate
Yo,
the holiday
I just
than
got a
giving
fucking ad,
the gift
bro.
of giving? Because giving is cool when you're giving and getting, but giving is better. We here at the China Show always struggle when it comes to finding gifts for people. I don't like giving something to someone unless it's significant, something cool, something useful, something that they'll appreciate. And that's where Extra comes in. They have incredibly good quality products that I can feel proud to give to my friends and family. Their wallets are second to none. They're high-tech. They've got RFID blockers built in. They're rugged. There's tracker cards.
Actually buy one of those.
Well, thank you again to Extra. I absolutely love their wallets. And my favorite thing is that all the leather ones are made in India. So
Assembled in India.
Yeah, assembled
Designed
in India.
in the Netherlands.
Yes, everything's designed in the Netherlands. It's a Dutch company. All right, now back to Xinjiang. you guys know Xinjiang, right?
You asking me?
Yeah, you know Xinjiang, obviously.
I know Xinjiang pretty well.
I think you do, yes.
Yeah.
We haven't covered this for a while, but the whole Uyghur genocide denial propaganda thing has resurrected itself again. I'm sure you've noticed. You've got a lot of people saying, don't trust Western media, it's all lies. Just come and see for yourself, right? That's the biggest thing that they like to do. And it's one of those things like, just trust me, bro. You don't actually have to do it. In fact, please don't do it, right?
Yeah.
And if you do it, you can only go to the tourist sites like the Grand Bazaar in Urumqi or, the Kashgar Old Town or the Hotan Night Market. Or, there's a couple
literally
of spots.
just an effort to whitewash the genocide.
Correct. And you'll get people that are like, there's no genocide here. It's all fine. So here's the thing. Occasionally, someone goes a little bit off script. Okay? And this particular guy, his Instagram is SideQuest Living. We got it in the corner there. He is Muslim and he tried to go and pray in some mosques. Because they're all like, there are mosques here and we don't crush their religious freedom.
Yeah, so China's narrative is that there are plenty of mosques. Islam is alive and well. We don't put millions of people into concentration camps and force them to do forced labor.
Yes.
We don't separate children from their families.
Mhm.
We don't Google the Xinjiang police files.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
All the things that have been proven time and time again.
Mhm.
They say no because look, you can see
dancing Uyghurs, first of all.
And we look, an American guy, a Canadian guy, a British guy, they all came over to Xinjiang and they say, oh, look, there's a mosque.
Yeah.
But I'd like to show what happens when you try to go and pray in them.
Yeah, exactly. So let's
get us
take
out
a
of
look.
there.
Yeah. Well.
Namaz yok. Yok ya namaz. Cuma yok. Take it.
Look at the 70th anniversary.
Pray, you can't pray. No namaz. Yok yamaz. Oh. You have to buy a ticket to go in. No, they have to pay to get into a mosque, but I guess we have to do it. Very
Never had
beautiful,
to
though.
pay
It
to go in
looks
a
very, very
mosque.
beautiful. Yakşı mısınız? Kandaksız. Yakşı. Bu yerde namaz yok. Yok ya namaz.
Yo, Chinese spew absolute bullshit.
Cuma yok.
Chinese people, the citizens, the everyday people, lovely, wonderful, beautiful people, Now, I'm not saying everyone, because there are some that same mentality of gotta get it by any means, and by any means they won't get it. But yeah, this is absolute bullshit. They literally basically enslaved the Uyghurs, forced them to essentially convert, stop them from their religion, forced them, even bragged by saying, yeah, we put them in re-education camps. Slavery. And then they try to spew, no, there's still Islam over here. There's still mosque. Guy, I can only assume comes from the Islamic community or faith. Comes to a mosque, has to pay. Never. I've never heard of having to pay to enter a mosque. So that's bullshit. They're using it as a tourist trap. And then he asked every single person there, can we pray? Everybody shook their head. They didn't even say, like, they were probably too scared to say no. They just shook their head. They just said no.
سيات مسجد بو مسجد نمش كان من يوم نماز يا أويغور من براز أويغور بلمن براز أزرق يا من إنجليدن أنا من كردستان اسمي إنجليز اسمه أنور هارش من هارش nice to meet you Rahmet Kosh okay sorry look at that absolute beauty of the minaret guys if I'm not wrong this is the tallest minaret in China anywhere in China
they made
a mosque that is basically not in use
and Chinese enslaved and turned their religion into a tourist trap. Shut it down, guys.
You can see the minbar over there in the corner.
Yeah, it's a tourist attraction.
There it is.
The wall of tepigs. Oh my god, I'm gonna double down. Oh, let's go!
I'm gonna pause it there for a second, guys. Here's the thing. I've seen this before, where they turn all religious sites,
churches, Christian churches as well.
Yeah, and temples
you go,
too.
Oh my gosh, that's a Christian church.
Yeah.
There's a cross.
Yeah.
You go in there, it's literally like celebrating the CCP, and there's nothing, you can't worship in there.
Yeah, but
There's
it's a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
You know that famous one they keep showing in Kashgar, that the oldest mosque or whatever there? That's a tourist attraction. You pay a ticket to go in, and no one's praying there. You go there to look around and take photos. You know, they've all become tourist attractions, so they're not actually mosques. It's a husk, just like this. You're not allowed to pray. But this guy went to several, not just these, right? Not just this particular one.
No, because obviously he was like, well, where are the ones that you can pray at?
Yes.
Is the audio better on the other ones?
I hope so. That was pretty bad audio. He's got to learn how to fix that. You know, maybe that's what he should pray for.
Wait, they got to move their bodies. I don't know what he said, but guys, finally a mosque to pray.
A mosque to pray. Let's not get our hopes up. Hopefully it's open. Yakşı mısınız? Kandaksız. Yakşı? Okay. Namaz?
I can pray.
Yok.
Waving? No.
Neymiş kan?
It's like, the fuck is the point then?
Yok. Ben kalayım en namaz. Yok. Close.
Close.
Why?
I don't know what he said, but from his actions, I think he said they will arrest him. Shut it down, guys. China, the whole China, shut it down. I'm sorry.
Okay. Salam alaikum.
Salam.
Okay. Yo, ismingis ismi. Mehmet. Mashallah. Harsh. Okay, Kosh. Oh, damn. Damn, man. They say no. Wow, man. It's not even their fault. I'm sure they want me to let me, but I don't think they're allowed. Guys, every single...
Yeah, he's saying he would be arrested. Shut it down, guys.
Mosque, every single Uyghur mosque I've been to, I've been turned away saying I cannot pray. The only mosques that I was able to pray was a Hui mosque, and there was also a tourist attraction. Yes, it's seeming to be very hard just to play. But even this is prayer time as well. It's prayer time in about 10 minutes, about 20 minutes. Maybe. So guys, I don't want to say too much right now. Guys, finally found a masjid.
So this is a this is another one. You can see in that one, as he said, the only mosque that he was able to pray was a Hui mosque, not a Uyghur mosque, and it was a tourist attraction. So it's, imagine your church is turned into a tourist attraction, and then they tell you you're not allowed to, you know, read certain verses from the Bible. You're not allowed to do this.
You can't even worship.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, like, I'm putting it into yours. If you go to church, imagine the government comes in and says, okay, you're no longer allowed to, you know, read these parts out of the Bible. You now have to put up a picture of Pol Pot, and you have to, you know, praise him instead. And by the way, we're just going to have tourists come in here and take photos of you while you're having your sermons. That's pretty much what they're doing.
Yeah, except most of these mosques don't have service.
Yeah,
period.
they don't.
They're gutted.
Absolutely.
They're not even being used.
Well, I mean, he couldn't get into any of these Uyghur mosques. Let's see his third one here.
I think it is open. So let's see.
Again, propaganda on the wall.
Namaz? Yok namaz? Oh.
Denied entry again into local Uyghur mosque in Turpan, Xizang.
Okay. Yok. Oh.
Point to the camera.
Okay. Rahmet. Salam alaikum. Gosh. Guys. Oh my god. There is a mosque. They don't let me pray. And they pointed to the camera.
That was a song.
I have no clue why they don't let me pray.
It is.
They've denied me entry into close to 10 mosques, guys. I swear. 10 of them. Literally, there is prayer going on, but they won't let me in. They all look at me helpless and they're like, oh. And they point to something. Yeah. I'm gonna go home, guys. I'm gonna go home and pray. So yeah.
He said he's gonna go where?
Yeah, okay, so there we have it. When they say come to Xinjiang and see for yourself.
No, he did.
Yeah. What they
did.
actually mean is come to the tourist sites, watch the happy dancing Uyghurs, and make a video to say that there's no genocide. But, you know, they are so tight and controlling over what people can do as far as religion is concerned there, that they won't allow the prayers. They've arrested people from, remember, having prayer study together, arrested people from reading the Quran, you know, or listening to religious sermons in someone's house.
Yeah.
You know, so...
Children.
Absolutely.
They arrested children for reading the Quran, banned verses and things like this.
Exactly.
So literally, Google the Xinjiang police files. It's haunting.
Yeah, it's
haunting.
terrible. Anyway, you guys get the point. It's just good to show you that on the ground, if you do go to Xinjiang and you do actually try to pray in a mosque there, you won't be able to.
And just before we move on for 10 seconds, I just want to say, even if you don't care about religious freedom or you even think Islam isn't good, right?
Yeah.
There's people with all different opinions of everything, right?
Sure.
That's not even the point of this. The point of this is China says one thing and does another. Because when they...
The point is, that China, the government, the CCP, they're gonna lie straight to everybody else's face, like the Americas, the Europe, the whoever they are going to lie to, and basically say, oh yeah, there is freedom. There is freedom of religion. There is freedom of speech. There is, but there isn't. But they're lying. And aren't they part of the UN? Or what is it called? What is it called?
Say something, they usually have nefarious purposes.
Yes. China lies to your face.
So use this analogy on and copy and paste it to anything.
Correct. Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on to Soft Power Hour. This is where we talk, it's the main part of our show. We talk about how China is trying to change your mind. And what do we got? Oh. So, if you didn't catch that, this woman is filming this. It's a fire at a chemical plant.
Yep.
And a guy says, don't film, don't film. So she says, who says I can't film? You'll see. Our chemical plant is on fire.
Somebody say chemical plant.
Oh no.
No. Sonic.
No, Sonic, no!
Yeah, the United Nations.
Sonic's up to his usual stuff again.
Sonic, stop it.
Okay. In all honesty, okay, let's get serious for a minute here. 19th of November, so again, that's quite a day, a red letter day.
It
apparently.
was, yeah.
In Anhui, in a place called Huangshan, this city, this big chemical plant burst into flames and exploded. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so Anhui Xinyuan Technology Company, they make epoxy and active diluents and resins, and they're using products like floor coatings, adhesives, composites, and electronic materials.
Yeah.
So this is a leading manufacturer, by the way, in epoxy stuff.
Right.
Blew up.
Yes. Now, I wanted to, with all the parody aside and all this no Sonic no stuff aside, even though he is responsible for all this stuff.
Not.
I'm kidding.
He's not responsible. And I say that because we have said that Sonic is a CIA operative.
Yeah, that's right.
So it is not true.
Yes, of course.
This is definitely, I'm going to say this is most likely disgruntled employees.
Yes.
And you won't believe how many factory fires we've had.
Oh yeah, we're going to get into it. Wow.
Crap.
We didn't realize. We cover this almost every week. There's a new fire or whatever, but we've uncovered something crazy. But I just wanted to go back to the original thing, which I've translated here, and the guy definitely says no filming. And she says, who says I can't film? And wait for it. So the guy says filming it will damage the image of Huangshan City.
What he means is China, right?
Yeah. It's like our city. If you film it and people see it, it's going to make us look bad.
Yes.
So I like what she says. I like this woman. She's great. She says, not filming it will damage it more. And he's like, don't film. That's the priority. The priority is not like, hey, let's fix this or this.
It's, hey, we got to keep an image, and all of these media platforms that we are banning you guys from seeing, we got to make sure we keep an image to them, though. To them, though, that we are good. So we can't show any. It's fucking stupid because buildings catch up in flames every single fucking day. You guys are worried about the wrong things. A building is going to give a bad image to the I don't know if hopefully the next generation, once it's messed up to say, but once this old generation goes, hopefully this next generation will be better. Hopefully they don't keep the same need of just just basically stupid validation. Cause why? It's a fucking building, guys. Why do we care? It's not. There's never been a building that made. There's never been a building catching on fire that made America like, oh my goodness. I mean, the 9/11 happens. I'm pretty sure that didn't make America look bad because 9/11 happened. But if that was China, they wouldn't want that to be shown because they'd be like, no, we our terrorists just attacked our buildings and destroyed our buildings. It's gonna make China look bad. Don't film, guys. Their reasoning, their thought, their logic is just so out of this world. It still goes back to the samurai and honor days. It's like everything's dishonorable. Don't film this building catching on fire because it is dishonorable to China. Fucking.
This is a problem, or oh my goodness, this is bad. Let's call the whatever. It's like, don't film it.
Yes.
That's the number one priority. It's not about safety at that point. It's about image. And that's how China operates. Don't film things. Don't let people see the bad side, because we're telling the world, we're telling the rest of China, we're telling everyone that everything's great and we're better than everyone else. So if you show our flaws, it's going to hurt us. Don't do it.
Yes.
Isn't it crazy?
It is. It's also crazy how much this has been happening.
Yeah.
Now, if we show you a chemical fire, what you just said about all this stuff, about how they're trying to stop showing it and all this kind of stuff, there's a reason they're trying to stop showing it.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to ask you, how many factory explosions do you think China has every year?
I mean,
maybe you would come up with 1, 2, and that would be big news,
No,
wouldn't it?
I'm just saying, like, considering that on our show, almost every week we can show maybe
I'm
3 to
saying
5 examples.
If you were not familiar.
But even based on our show, I would say maybe a couple hundred.
There you go. Right.
I'd say a couple hundred.
You would say that. The average person would probably say a couple, because the biggest epoxy factory or whatever catching on fire or blowing up, or that massive one that happened in Shandong. You see footage like that and you go, that's a major event.
Right.
Until you realize, you start digging through Peking University's slides.
Okay, so this is a 2024 report by Peking University, which is like the Harvard of China.
Yeah, so in this one alone, right? So in 2024, there actually were, it turns out, 23,000 factory fires in China. 23,000.
And
you can just run the rest. 23,000 factories burn in 1 year in China.
That's insane.
If you run like a model, right? Because they have
not 23. 23,000. That's fucking wild.
Now stop talking about this.
So
right?
that was
2025.
So 2024, right?
Yeah.
So that's actually official from Peking University. Their study said 23,000.
Yes.
2024, it's definitely, 2025 it's definitely been more.
Actually, yeah, and China News Online, which is state media, actually linked all the sources below. So you guys can go
you can go look at the sources, right?
Hopefully people are archiving them so they don't pull them. But anyway, so...
Bro, that's insane.
When you look at that, you have to base your model. So if you run like a model, right?
Yeah.
You're going to only be able to run that off of the previous year's data or previous experiences data, because they're not counting anymore.
Sure.
The Chinese government doesn't seem to be wanting to put out any information for 2025.
Of course. Dude, it's just like they stopped reporting their unemployment, youth unemployment. Same reason, right?
So it's looking like between 20 and 25,000 factory fires in 2025. I will say the footage that we have seen about factory explosions have been way more.
Oh, it's ramped up.
If you use an estimate, a model of not just fires, but actual explosions, like actual factory explosions.
Yeah.
Put in the thoughts. That's another reason why they block Chinese citizens. They try to block the entirety of Chinese citizens from Facebook, Twitter. They create their own and say, use these. It's so this crap doesn't get to us. If literally they didn't know about VPNs, they didn't know about that crap, they would be completely blocked to us. We would not know anything about them. They would not know anything about us. And the only thing they would know is what they're being taught by their government, by the schools. Sounds a lot like North Korea, but I digress, because they're not North Korea.
You're looking at more like 600 to 1,500 explosions just this year alone.
That's insane.
You don't have 1,000 factories blow up normally.
No, that's not normal.
That's insane.
Look, it's absolutely a combination of China's terrible safety standards, absolutely appalling safety standards, which we've seen with our own eyes. I mean, look, when I left China in 2019, that was 6 years ago, people say, oh, it's a long time when it comes to China. It's not. It's still the same because we see all the same clips coming out of China now. But even then, I saw the most appalling safety standards in a first-tier city, Shenzhen, where people are, using cutting wheels without any goggles or shoes, and they're welding without welding masks, and, just stupid things like that. But just fire safety, doors being locked with chains, that kind of thing. It's horrific. That's why this happens. That, and of course, the massive amount of disgruntled employees these days who are not being paid.
Yeah.
It's a bad combination.
I do want to say these are estimates, right? But based on their 23,000 factory fires in 1 year in 2024.
23,000 factory fires is a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the more important figure is the up to 1,500 factory explosions in 1 year.
Yeah.
You don't blow up a factory.
Yeah,
That's one factory explosion in America would be headline news for months.
Years,
literally.
There would be investigations. They'd be like interviews with the families. They'd be like, this whole area has been affected. They'd be doing soil samples. They'd be doing surveys. It'd be like air pollution went up. They'd be like the bosses held accountable.
It would be shared.
OSHA, all this stuff.
Across
it would
the
be
country.
a huge thing. They'd make a Netflix show out of it.
They would, and they do. I mean, people still go on about, that derailment of that train that spread that chemical, remember?
Yeah.
And Chinese propagandists and tankies use that all the time. Oh, look how unsafe America is. 23,000 factory fires, 1,500 factory explosions in a year.
I mean, and I know, I'm trying to figure this 23,000 estimate because it sounds crazy. That ends up being like 64 a day, right? But what you have to understand is that China's the biggest manufacturer in the world. There's 1.4 billion people.
Right? Yes.
So you have
probably a little less, about 1.2, I'd say.
Maybe
1.1.
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely not some stupid low number that's been going around. Rumors. People ask me, they're like, oh, they're underreporting. They're like 500 million or whatever. 500, 500, like rubbish. Shut up.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw with my own eyes that there's 1 billion plus people there. Okay,
Yes.
Don't come at me with these lowball numbers, your conspiracy theory garbage. Take that stuff and go do a breathing exercise with it.
Right.
Anyway,
whatever that means.
You know what that means.
They have over 1 million factories.
They do.
Okay? They have over 1 million factories in China.
Correct.
So if you think about that, then the numbers becomes crumbs.
Yes.
Peanuts, right?
Yeah.
23,000. I mean, it's not an insignificant number.
No.
But what I'm trying to say is it's you can start to fathom it, right?
Sure.
So you're having these factory explosions across the country. They look like they're ramping up. China's stopping counting them. And you have to start thinking about this logically. You have to say, what is the real situation on the ground in China?
Yeah.
Then you start looking at reports and you say, wow, China's investment's at an all-time low. Yeah, external investment into China. People are seeing this stuff, right? People are putting 2 and 2 together. They're watching economists in China say, yeah, there's no way our GDP growth is 5%.
Sure.
This is like a baseline figure that we use to kind of base like what we want it to be off of.
Yeah.
Then you have the people looking at studies on the lights coming from factories, electricity usage in areas, nighttime satellite footage.
Yeah.
And all this stuff starts to add up. And what you have, especially when you factor in the unemployment figure right now, which is through the roof in China.
Sure.
You're looking at a situation where China has lied for so long that they started to believe themselves as a wealthy country that commands the world's economy, when in reality it doesn't.
Correct.
And unfortunately, it has duped many people around the world in companies, in governments, in leadership positions, normal investors.
Yeah.
They have read these reports and they say, well, China must be like my country. It must be one of those countries that puts out these statistics, and I can look at them and I can say, well, I can trust, they have their head on their shoulders. And then you start to think outside the box a little bit. And you say, all of this propaganda that they spend billions of dollars on to tell the China story well propaganda campaign from the central government. Why are they spending billions of dollars shutting down speech from people that are critical of the government?
Yeah.
Why do they spend billions of dollars trying to go on your TikTok and Instagram feed to tell you that China is the most investable country and it's very wealthy and it's better than yours and your country's flying?
Living in the future.
Why are they playing these clips of these cities with all these LEDs and claiming there's no potholes and that you can leave your wallet on the ground and no one will steal it? Why are they doing everything
lying?
That's counter to the actual reality? If you talk to anybody from China, they would tell you the opposite. So
if you get stuck on the melody, or if you just feel like you can't get a song started, Output's co-producer is very dope. They make it much easier for us to either get inspiration or to help us when we just can't find that right element. Let me show you guys how this thing works. I made a really quick beat, but it doesn't sound finished.
Sorry, guys.
You start to put 3 and 3 together.
Sure.
And you say, all of this is to keep China afloat because they're having a very, very difficult time right now.
They absolutely are.
You don't have 1,000 factories blow up with disgruntled employees setting them on fire. You don't have 23,000 factory fires a year. You don't have the economy saying it's 5%. You don't spend billions of dollars on external propaganda and internal dissent control unless something is very, very wrong.
Yeah.
And then you can zoom out all the way and you can make your conclusion. You say, all of this is because China completely relies on the rest of the world to exist.
Correct. Without external investment and without being able to steal the IP and so on, they would not be anywhere right now. They'd still be in a very bad way. Now, this picture behind us, just wanted to remind you, this was a fire at a poultry factory a number of years ago, which killed 119 workers.
113, yeah.
Was it 100? I think it was 119.
Oh, either way, it doesn't matter. I just had that fresh number in mind.
Because the all of the exits were blocked. There was only one door that people could escape out of, and you had so many people in the factory and they couldn't escape in time. So 119 people died in this particular factory.
Oh, you're
fire.
right. I think it was 119. Yeah.
And you know, it's just the safety standards are horrible, and not much has changed since then. Another couple of years ago, 38 people died in a factory fire. Lots of people die, and a lot of it's underreported, or they don't want to report it. It's absolutely terrible. I used to train doctors, and as part of that, I used to go around to different hospitals. And in one particular, and I've talked about this before, one particular hospital I used to go to every week was a hand hospital, specialized in hand injuries, because of the amount of people that get their hands mangled in machinery in the factories in Shenzhen and the surrounding areas there. They actually had a massive hospital set up to specialize in people with really horrible hand injuries.
Wow.
It just shows you how rampant the lack of safety is. Anyway, let's move on. We wanted to show you this, and we forgot to mention when this happened about 3 weeks ago. 2.5 weeks ago now, this S41 highway in Yunnan, China was...
It builds really good roads. It must be, it must be really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Must be nice to live in a real country.
Forgot about that for a minute.
China builds things so fast. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang.
That's a great little highway. And this, wow. This is a brand new mall. So this is a couple days ago, right? This mall's ceiling fell down.
Okay.
Injured 8 people. Do you know how long this mall was open for?
How long?
3 days.
3 days?
3 days. So this brand new mall's just opened. It's been operating for 3 days. The ceiling collapses and injures 8 people.
Tofu drag?
I mean, that's the problem is you can see how flashy it is, right? It looks all flashy and it's got marble floors and it's got all the LED lights and everything. It looks nice and fancy. But after 3 days, the ceiling collapses and injures 8 people. That's the problem with Chinese construction, is all the shortcuts and the tofu drag stuff. it looks good because they build it new. They don't maintain it. It won't
most places
remain
don't have
looking
new
good.
stuff,
Yeah. So it's new. Your city or your town probably has stuff from like the 1800s or at least like 1910 or something.
But
You got
it's
old
still
buildings.
standing.
So when you see flashy new buildings, you're like, wow, they're living in the future. No, they just built something new. And guess what? It's not good.
And isn't there a thing where buildings gotta be demolished? I'm not sure if I heard that from Japan or if it was in China, but like every 10 years, a building has to come down because, like, bro, how do we still have buildings from the house I'm in is at least 100 years old. Older than that. We still fine. We still here, baby.
It's quantity over quality, right? This, on October 2nd, a little bit further back, we also missed reporting on this one. The roof collapsed on this very famous restaurant, and there's something very creepy about this, which we wanted to show you in particular. Let's see. And that is the fact that there is
That's
a
insane.
children's playground on the roof.
That's insane.
I'm not sure if it's related to the restaurant or if there's some kind of daycare or something there, because it could be a multi-purpose building. But man, is that creepy. Take a look at that. Would you want your kids playing on that roof?
No.
It doesn't look like there's much
I
of a
wouldn't
barrier.
want my kids playing on a roof,
It
period.
looks a bit sus. Never mind the fact that the roof collapses. So, I mean,
I think that's probably the biggest part of this.
But still, like, doesn't that just look like a
very
disaster? It looks like a disaster waiting
Why
to
is my
happen.
kid on a roof?
Wow, you know, like, hey, Timmy, stay away from the edge of the building. You know,
collapse is part of the playground fun.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Come collapse with us.
Correct.
Come to the Lian Yungang restaurant in Jiangsu province in
That's us. Yeah. Anyway, just once again, it just proves that you cannot trust the build quality in China. And you don't want them constructing your bridges or your buildings or anything because this is the result, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Have you got an update yet on our thing?
I do.
That looks insane. Insanium to the cranium.
You know who hasn't made an appearance today, and I'm very happy about that.
Who?
Farmer.
Stupid like Farmer.
Farmer. Like,
you want him to come?
Farmer.
No,
like.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy that he's not here. If he were to make an appearance, I'd be very sad.
Well, guess he's not coming then.
Are you sure?
You clearly don't want him here.
I never want him here.
Well, it sounds like you either do and you secretly want him to come here, or you don't.
Do you think I secretly like the Like Farmer?
I think you do.
By the way, here's a scenic spot collapsing, which you cannot blame Chinese construction on.
No, it's just
news. Yeah, it's just news.
Did you want? You wanted me to give you an update on the likes, or did you want to give me to give you an update on the signups? Because we'll hit the signups in a minute.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's what I was curious about, to be honest.
You guys think that you would like to give us a like? Tell you what, my friends, it's the Like Farmer.
It's
and
the
I'm
Like
right.
Farmer.
I'll tell you what, if you hit that thumbs up button, you will seed the feed. You gotta seed the feed. Every time you click that thumbs up button, it helps YouTube put our show on other people's feeds, and that's what we're doing here. So we're trying to hit.
Listen, he pretends like he doesn't like the Like Farmer, but he knows he ain't getting them likes without the Like Farmer for a reason. That Like Farmer get them likes in, boys. And listen, I might need a Like Farmer myself. Actually, I'll find my hat tomorrow. And when I make a video, I'm gonna bring out the Like Farmer to get them likes out.
4,000
But
likes
he only
today.
pretends like he don't like the Like Farmer.
You know what?
But he
I know
likes
the
that
Like
Like
Farmer is
Farmer.
the Like Farmer. I dislike the Like Farmer.
Well, I guess you don't like performance on YouTube. You just want the China show to fail.
Absolutely not.
That's how it works around here. That's the dichotomy of this relationship. Is I'd prefer that our crops grow and they grow real lush and real delicious. And he said, I want us to starve.
I don't want anyone to starve. I think we could get by,
is
you know?
what he said. I hope everyone goes hungry in this world. Don't donate to hunger programs. Let everyone starve to death. And I say, no, you click that thumbs up button and you give us that like. All right? Amen.
All right. Yeah, thank you. All right. Yeah, can we continue?
Yes.
Awesome. All right.
See?
Just showing
He
that
likes
potholes do
Farmer.
exist in China. So
likes that white
if you watched
Farmer.
my latest video, that really bugged me. There was a campaign on Twitter or
There
X
was, yeah.
to try and pretend that there are no potholes in China. Meanwhile, as I said, in the rural parts of China, it's more pothole than not hole.
That's a good quote. Twas a good quote.
Yeah, I came up with it just on the spot. Because, I mean, we've seen it. We've lived through it. It's insane. What a crazy claim. Imagine trying to claim that. It's like saying there are no guns in America or there are no cigarettes in China.
Yeah.
You know, that type of thing. Like, it's just lies.
It's preposterous.
It's absolutely. It is.
It's preposterous.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway.
preposterous.
Oh, yeah. Remember this container ship exploded?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. It's kind of in theme with the whole factory
It is. We
explosions,
just
right?
wanted to have some footage while we were talking.
Yes.
Let me hit my notes super quick just to
Okay.
make sure we didn't miss anything here.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to say some thought process here. Just some quick examples. Shandong on May 27th, there was a massive blast that ripped through the Youdao chemical plant. Remember
Yes,
that one?
I do.
Lots of people injured and hurt and dead. In Hunan in June, the fireworks factory blew up, killed 9 and injured 26. Remember? What I want to point is these rarely make national news.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear about them. Look, we research China. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've got our finger clearly on the pulse of what's happening on the ground in China. We've got people in China sending us information. We're constantly scouring the Chinese internet and dissident forums and things like that to figure out what's happening. And even for us, it's difficult to find this information.
What I wanted to remind people is for every explosion that we see online, there's dozens more, and the only evidence of that might be in a local bulletin or just word of mouth.
Well, you heard the guy, don't film.
Yeah.
Don't film.
That's the prerogative.
You know?
So it kind of makes sense.
Yep.
And it just makes sense to always just remember what we're dealing with here. It's hide the truth rather than show the truth, right?
Yeah.
And when you apply that to everything in China, it all starts to make sense.
Yes, agreed. You know what? You know what? I think we need to have an update.
We do. All right.
Before we hit world news, because world news is next.
Yes. Actually, no, it's Beyond the Great Firewall.
Oh, sorry, Beyond the Great Firewall. My mistake.
Let's have a look. Help us beat censorship. Remember, we were age restricted last week. If you're just joining us now, we were age restricted last week for showing a bridge collapse. By the way, they didn't hit us with age restriction for the bridge collapse. It was for another reason.
A British man getting kicked in the balls, yes.
Clearly, the video is mass flagged.
Yes.
By Chinese bots because they
flagged.
literally wanted to stop the performance of the video because they don't want people to know about their mega bridges collapsing.
Yes.
Pretty obvious that that's what's happened. That means that we need your support. The best way to do that is that most of the money on Patreon, if you sign up, goes straight to us.
Yeah.
It's the way that you can show your support, and we have an extra show every Monday.
That way we can, and we explain this to our patrons every Monday. That's how we can sustain these big knocks that we get, because
we lose all the money that week.
China tries to censor us through many means, and one of the ways they constantly have tried over the years is to go after our income. If they can stifle our views on YouTube, if they can stop our monetization on YouTube, if they can stop anyone dealing with us and cut away our monetization, they believe that they can silence us. They believe we'll just go away. This is not the case, and specifically because we have incredibly generous supporters like you guys.
Yes.
Look, even if you don't support us, just by watching our shows and spreading the word and so on, you help us greatly. But if you can, if you absolutely can afford it, we would love for you to join us over on Patreon, because it's super fun. Anyway, on Mondays, we have a great time, and you're really helping out.
Yes.
So what is the
goal
URL?
number one, if we got 25 signups, we'll get a bonus holiday hangout, which we'll do a live stream here and hang out with you, drink some beers.
I know, we already have that.
And guess what? We already got it.
Yes, we did.
Goal 2, if we get 50 signups, there's going to be a free Shaban Ho episode,
please
the
tell me I
latest
got
Shaban Ho
goal
episode.
2.
That's our patron show. We'll go out to everyone. Remember, this is your help.
Please
When you're
tell me
signing
you
up, you're
got
helping
goal 2.
everyone enjoy our stuff.
Yes,
Please
so
tell me you got
it's going to be
goal
released
3.
free here if we hit it.
Guess what? We hit it.
Oh, we did?
Yes, goal achieved.
Okay,
That's
all right.
wild,
okay. Where's
bro.
that stupid goal button?
YouTube.
I was gonna say, please, y'all gotta tell us. Let's go. How many goals y'all got?
Yes.
Please tell me I got goal 3
let's
too.
celebrate. Winston, we'll celebrate with you for a minute.
Yes,
while I
you know,
prepare this.
guys, I'm one of those people who I don't show massive amounts of emotions, even though I'm feeling it. But right now, I'm incredibly proud of all of you guys and humbled at the same time at the fact that so many of you are willing to support us, because it makes what we do worthwhile. And I just want to say thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I just put that in chat, by the way.
And you're going to put it in the description?
And I will put it in the description afterwards.
Okay.
I'm not able to do that right
Fantastic. So you'll be able to watch our most recent Xiaobanhou for free, everybody. And thanks to the generosity of everybody in chat who's joined us and helped us reach goal number 2.
And hopefully we can, if we're lucky, we'll chip away and maybe hit to goal number 3.
If we do, that'd be incredible. But anyway, it's time for us to continue with the show. By the way, if you want to go sign up, you have to go to patreon.com/ADV podcasts.
Yes. Can you play this ticker?
I mean, I've got this.
Yes. And by the way, just in case you're already signed up and you missed the beginning of the show, I explained you can gift a membership to someone else now.
Yes.
And that's a fantastic tool, because think about
How
people that you
old
might
are
think
you
would
guys
like
now?
our show.
Y'all
All
are
right, because remember, you're not just
so
sending someone like, this is how to support them. You get a whole show.
Yeah.
170 plus episodes
like
on Xiaobanhou on our Patreon.
teenagers.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And we have some pretty interesting and wacky stuff on there too.
Yes.
Anyways, Beyond the Great Firewall, this is an important one. I saw you translating it earlier.
Yeah.
So let's take a look. You've got subtitles.
I do.
And, well, can you tell people the gist?
So basically this woman in Shandong, so it's in northern China, where the Qingdao beer comes from.
Yeah.
She wanted to see like the average person who gets a pension from the government, so someone who's retired.
Yeah.
How much do they make, and how much are they able to afford on that pension? Because remember, China is the People's Republic of China.
Sure.
Right? The People's Republic of China takes care of its citizens because it's a communist country. They have communist benefits and social safety nets.
That's what dumbasses in the West think, who are like in college and they wear Che Guevara t-shirts.
Correct.
Yeah. It's not true. And as you can see here, China's pension for farmers/workers in Shandong is 122 yuan a month. That's $17 a month. I don't know how many of you guys out there think you can survive on $17 a month.
That's not just food stipend. That's your living.
You gotta pay your rent.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I got $5 for rent.
Yes. I mean, it's just laughable.
What are you gonna rent? A cardboard box?
It's just laughable.
I can't even buy a cardboard box big enough for me for $5.
Yeah, from like USPS or
yeah, it'll be $27 or something. Can't even get a cardboard box.
You're right.
But anyway, let's see what she has to say.
22块钱，平均到每天是4块钱。我们来看一下这4块钱的购买力到底有多强。你好，大爷，打扰您一下，方便问您几个问题吗？你今年多大了？67、8了，为什么还在工作呢？
那是咋给那个老子搞过来的？
我们有养老金吗？
有。
有养老金是吧？养老金多少呢？方便问一下吗？具体是120几呢？养老金120多是1个月还是1000呢？大爷，您之前是干什么工作的呀？
弄面。
今天买肉了，今天买一点粉条和鸡蛋。
Okay, so now, by the way,
she was like, you mean 120 RMB a day? He's like, no, a month.
I'm gotta say that I don't think she realizes how dangerous this is, what she's doing.
Well, don't point that out. We want people to do
of course, no, she's doing the right thing, but she's got balls, is what I'm saying.
It's good. It's brave.
You know, to actually just, and this isn't even like an expose. This is
it's just
literally
normal stuff.
You know, talking to an old dude who's a street sweeper, ask him how much he makes a month on his pension. That shouldn't be controversial. That shouldn't be a jailable offense.
No, but it is.
It is in China. You can get into so much trouble if this spreads, you know.
Think about Hu Chenfeng.
Yes, exactly.
This is what he did.
This is what he used to do. Well,
so she's going to go try.
I have to just applaud her courage.
Me too. Me too.
Know?
Absolutely.
So now she's going to see what she can get in the shop for that amount.
For her 4 RMB per day. What?
4 RMB a day.
先来看一下面条。900克的面条是4块9，我们再看一下，500克的话是3块钱，这个还比较符合我们的预算。900克也是6块9，那我们就拿这个3块钱的嘛。那我们的预算只剩
for the noodles, so she still has 1 RMB left.
So she just bought a little 500 grams of noodles.
Yes.
And that was 3 RMB. Okay, what's she gonna get with her 1 RMB?
1块钱了，我们来看一下蔬菜，西红柿是4块9毛8一斤，我们挑一个最小的，是看多少钱？ 对抗了西红柿9毛钱，我们预算还是卖1毛钱，就买鸡蛋看一下。鸡蛋2块9毛蚂蚁金，我们称一个鸡蛋看看。
Yeah, eggs are very cheap in China.
鸡蛋是3毛5个，今天的挑战已经超预算了。
So wait.
Let's see what they bought.
Okay, let's see.
一个西红柿
，1 tomato,
鸡蛋
，1 egg, and 1 bunch of noodles. Now that was just quickly. That was the entire day's budget. That was all meals.
Yes.
That was rent. That was everything.
I gotta say, first of all, yes, you have to cook those noodles and you have to boil water. How are you going to do that? You need fuel, whether you're using an electric kettle or making a fire.
I mean, give me fuel, give me fire.
Yeah, you need a pot or a pan or something.
For sure.
All of these things.
Yo, these ads are out of pocket, bro.
That's probably what you desire.
Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, though, do you see how desperate it is? Imagine you had, what is 4 RMB? In
60 cents.
60 cents a day to survive, but including everything, like you said, not just food.
No, she's just showing an experiment of how much food you could buy.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's insane. It's insane to think that China's lifted people out of poverty. You know, you see that stupid stat thrown around all the time, 800 million people lifted out of poverty. I mean,
if that's lifted out of poverty, then I don't want to be lifted out of Chinese poverty.
No, exactly. In China, just the benchmark for poverty has been lowered so far down. And the official stats, something like if you earn $700 a year, you are no longer impoverished. You're no longer severely impoverished, so they can check you off as not being poor anymore.
That's the socialist paradise that these streamers that go into China talk about. How amazing it is. Isn't it amazing how well they take care of their people?
Yeah, it's incredible.
That 70-year-old men have to sweep the road.
Must be nice to live in a real country.
Sorry, yeah.
So she's saying my purchasing power is very good, so let's buy some stuff.
Yeah, which is really nice.
阿姨帮我称2斤5块肉，谢谢阿姨。
That's super
我们
nice.
再来买一包鸡蛋，
A whole bag of eggs, which is great.
肉蛋都有了，我们再去买点奶，我们再来拿1箱纯牛奶。大爷，给您买了点东西，请您一定要收下，早点下班回家休息。
Home early and rest. Thank you.
没事。
You're welcome.
Hopefully that'll last them the whole.
I don't want to be adding her to this, by the way.
No, and we should. Hopefully we don't.
Yeah,
have to.
we don't have.
Fu Chenfeng did the same thing on the left there. He has suffered digital death. They've wiped his existence off of the internet.
Correct.
They've demonized him. He is now an enemy of the country.
Yeah.
Just for trying to help.
He did the same thing. Think of that, guys. He did the exact same thing.
People and spread the truth about people's living standards. He was a patriot too. He was not anti-China.
Yeah, that's the thing. He was a nationalist, and even he got nailed.
Yep.
And we all know Peng Shuai,
tennis player.
Yeah, disappeared.
Seen or heard from since 2022.
Exactly. Just
we always have that wall of digital death, and this is just a little reminder of how a lot of people have to work in China.
Yeah, you know, some of the working conditions people have to put up. But bear in mind, it's freezing cold there.
Yeah.
That's why they're wearing all the stuff on their heads and so on. It's windy and cold.
There are elderly people that have to cross rivers on rope bridges to go make very, very little wage.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, here's the thing. You'll find poverty in all countries. The reason why we have to show this, by the way, they're crossing on looks like a collapsed fence.
Yeah.
The reason we have to show this is we need to have a counterpoint to all of this propaganda coming out right now.
Yeah, you can't pretend like...
If a child gets caught in that, gone. Like, I'm not sure how deep that is. Hopefully someone could stand in that. But it looks very strong. And it looks like if a child... Those are old people, mind you. So if an old person can't swim, crap, they wouldn't even be able to swim in that because it looks so damn strong.
It doesn't exist.
But that's the problem is China does pretend like there are no problems in China. And I've challenged, you know, I shared that mosque thing on Twitter, and a very well-known CCP shill who just whitewashes all the atrocities that the Chinese government does. He challenged me on Twitter to say that it's not true. I'm not talking. So I asked him, is it possible for you to even mildly criticize Xi Jinping or the Communist Party of China? And he couldn't.
Nope.
They're not allowed to. They can't even, you know what? I bet you right now that
this
they can't.
One's 80, by the way.
Yeah.
Working in the field.
You can't even. Okay, I'll pause it. You can't even say that Xi Jinping's hairstyle is out of style or unfashionable. You can't say anything like that, right?
If you can't do that, then that's a problem.
No.
North Korea, China, North Korea, China.
Oh, imagine you're living in a country where you can criticize the West all you want, and you can say how bad America is with homeless people. That's what you do. But you can't even say that Xi Jinping's hairstyle is not to your taste. You can't even say that.
No, you'd get in trouble.
Yeah, you can't say anything bad about the CCP.
You love this, by the way.
What's this?
This is homeless people.
Oh, yes.
You don't love that.
No.
But do you love what's in the background of them?
What is in the background? The flags? No?
No, the characters. Would you like to read what they say?
I can't see it from here.
They're in the blurb.
Oh, okay. This is in Suzhou, Jiangsu, China. Words behind the homeless say: uphold high the thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era. Yeah.
Sorry, not laughing at the homeless, but it's the sheer irony.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I mean, I guess socialism with Chinese characteristics means that you don't have socialism.
That's what it means. It means we get to call it socialism, but we do whatever we want with it. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how they always do with Chinese characteristics. It's kind of like high quality with Chinese characteristics. That's what those cheap things on Amazon that break all the time are. It's high quality with Chinese characteristics. Yes. Anyway, Worldview, guys, this is where we talk about everything in the world, specifically with regards to China. And this is quite the story.
Yeah, it is. We were waiting to touch on it.
Yeah, because there's been controversy.
No fucking way. Norway discovers its Chinese-made buses can be remotely turned off by the manufacturer.
At first, Norway discovered that the buses that they got from China have like hidden communication technology built into them. Okay, SIM cards so that they can...
It's like, yo, they are so grimy, bro. They did this in Africa. They said, "Oh, we'll build a building for you. We'll build this building for you guys." Internet was being hacked, or whatever you want to say. They had hidden communication devices behind it, where they could spy on the people. Why do they? What's the point of even doing this? What's the point, bro? This is some grimy activity.
Talk to China. And there was a lot of debate when they first found out, like, this is bad, this could be a kill switch. And there were people on these electric car forums on Reddit saying, that's all manufacturers do this, etc. But the difference is that all manufacturers don't belong to the Communist Party of China. In China, it doesn't matter what your company is, if you're a car company or you're a software company or you make shoes, the Chinese government can tell you what to do, and you must comply by law. So let's say you are a shoe, you make Nike shoe knockoffs or something similar. You make your own brand. It's called like Hongji, okay? So you got Hongji shoes, and you're selling shoes you're selling shoes to America. And the Chinese government says, you must put listening devices in your shoes. They must do it. Or you must give us the list of all of the clients that you've sent to in America. And then if they find out, oh, you've sent to someone important, then they can send some nefarious thing in the post. That type of thing.
That's grimy.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44. This is a first look at the current industry-leading AI.
I'm sorry, guys.
Software. The Chinese government can come up and say, give me all of your user data. Every single thing that they've done, their IP addresses, all this. They must do it. They cannot refuse. It's not like in other countries like America. If the American government goes to Apple and says, give us your user data, they'll say no. And they can say no. But in China, you can't. Same with car companies. If the Chinese government goes to whichever car company made these, and says, you enable that listening device, the microphones in there, we want to hear what people are saying inside that bus.
Give us the receipts or the tickets of every person that rode these buses.
They must do it. They cannot say no.
No.
They can't. So that's the security.
Again. North Korea. China. North Korea. China.
Risk. And so they found this two-way communication thing in these buses Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, in case you're confused why the picture, don't continue.
Okay.
We're talking about this
right.
article.
Sure.
If you're confused, the pictures from the Netherlands probably be because it's the same bus system that Norway picked up on. This summer, Oslo, as capital of Norway, Public Transportation Authority drove a Chinese electric bus deep into a decommissioned mine. There's a reason they did this.
Okay.
It's not just to leave it there because that's where it belongs.
Yeah, exactly. And then collapse the mine on top of it.
They drove it into a mine, into a nearby mountain to answer the question that everyone is speculating. Could it be hacked? Isolated by rock and digital interference, cybersecurity experts came back with a qualified yes. The bus could be remotely disabled using the control system for the battery.
Yeah.
The revelation presented at a recent public transport conference has spurred officials in Denmark and the UK to start using their own investigations into Chinese vehicles.
Sure.
Surprised the UK is doing that with their super spy embassy that they've...
Yeah, I mean, what the hell? They belong to China now.
It is also fed into broader security concerns across Europe about the growing prevalence of Chinese-made equipment in the region's energy and telecommunications infrastructure. I'm very glad that the U.S. has good protections against this kind of stuff compared to Europe, and I'm glad Europe seems like it's coming.
Well, they got to wake up.
They have to.
Yeah.
The worry is the same for automotive, autos, solar panels, and other connected devices. Mechanisms used for wirelessly delivering system updates could be exploited by hostile governments or third-party hackers to compromise critical networks.
Yep.
It turns out the Oslo Transport Authority router said the bus's mobile communication network via Romanian SIM card gave manufacturer Yutong access to the control system for the battery and power supply.
Yeah.
Reuter said it was addressing the vulnerability by developing firewalls and delaying the signals sent to vehicles, among other solutions.
How about just removing that?
How about don't buy Chinese?
Don't buy Chinese, especially if it's called Yutong, because they're going to make you Tong Sawala.
Yeah, tongue, but yeah.
I know, but I'm going to say Tong. Yeah, seriously though, stop. You cannot trust the Chinese government because if they have a political agenda against your country, they will use whatever means necessary to affect you.
Yes. So your analogy about the listening devices is an analogy. The reality here that people are concerned about is being able to disable vehicles with a kill switch in China, which now has been proven they can.
Now, if you think about the applications for such a thing, you can cause chaos. Number one, they can be disabled while they are moving.
Yes, I forgot to bring that up.
So if a bus is traveling on a highway at speed, and this is something they know because they can get the telemetry, I'm sure.
Bro.
Bus is traveling at speed on a busy highway and it suddenly stops.
That's insane. That's insane. Like, there's no safety feature to be like, no, it's moving. No, they can just be like, and then like that could be assassination attempt or what have you, whatever nefarious plans they would have for the list of every person that's ever ridden the bus, get the schedule of a specific person, and not saying, they would, but it's possible that if they wanted to hit somebody off right then and there, the bus is going down this highway at this speed, turn it off. Boom.
It'll cause a massive pileup. So it'll injure people, it'll cause chaos, it'll jam up roadways.
Chaos Emerald.
Yeah, exactly. Sonic will come on the scene again, yeah. But, there's all sorts of different applications you can use to, make this affect things during, I don't know, to delay an invasion or to invade or do something. What's funny?
I was just reading it. Sorry, chat. Tropa17 says, imagine Speed, the movie, but it's a Chinese bus.
I used to love that movie. Yeah, when I was younger. Yeah,
kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I had a big crush on Sandra Bullock.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, back in the day.
That's a bunch of bullocks.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, shall we move on? Yeah,
we shall. This is a really cool article, but be all and end all is that this article shows a interactive map on how China's probably going to use their civilian boats.
No, probably they already do.
To invade.
Oh, right.
So they've been tracking the movement of these, and so people aren't paying attention because they're like, oh, it's going to be destroyer ships and all this kind of stuff. But what they have is thousands and thousands and thousands of cargo ships and rusty fishing boats and all this kind of stuff.
Would it hurt Chinese fishing boats to paint themselves?
I think that's how they stay kind of hidden.
By being like a rusty pile of trash.
Oh yeah.
I love rust.
They look like they're polluting the water just by being there.
Just by existing. See, pause that, yeah. So these kind of ships. But anyway, I'm not going to get too much into it. You can read it yourself. I've linked it below. It's very cool.
Hold on.
Article.
Yeah.
But it's also very scary.
Yeah.
But I'm glad there's some awareness about how this might go down.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
I would say it's like having another producer in the room that knows exactly what your song needs. This is co-producer, the fastest way to find samples that fit your track. It listens to your track and pulls in.
How many ads?
Because they're trying to be sneaky.
3 Chinese nationals and I guess an American guy was charged with smuggling NVIDIA HP chips to China. The ban on giving chips to China was broken by them. They were caught going through a shell company.
What does
a realty company?
Yeah, what does a realty company? Yeah, anyway, real estate. Guys, this proves that once again, China will never play by the rules. They break the laws to get what they want.
Yep.
Okay, and that's why you can't trust them with your buses or anything, really. Yeah, I think you've linked the article below. It's good. I'm glad that they managed to foil that.
Yeah.
It's good.
There's just some details there we don't have to harp on because you guys can read that yourself.
Yeah.
This is part of the whole Japan row.
This Japan spat, I don't want to get too much into it again, but you know what they did is China warned its citizens to not go there on holiday because this is what they do. This is how they hurt people or countries that they don't like, is they hurt them monetarily. So they're like, fine, if you're going to make that statement, we're not going to let our people travel to your country anymore. So then something like
Really?
500,000
Really?
tourists canceled their plans. I think they were kind of forced to do that because, whatever people say in China, they still love going to Japan because Japan has the products they like. They like to go travel there. Okay, So they canceled that. They also canceled importing Japanese seafood, which also hurts them monetarily. And now they're also canceling any concert with Japanese musicians.
Really?
When China goes into this xenophobic anti-Japanese mode, it's very dangerous for Japanese people living and working in China. And of course, Japan's had to warn its citizens to be more careful because we've had horrible incidents where children have been, stabbed and things like that because of this. And, they've been targeted. They'd like to target the children and the families and that type of thing. So you got to be careful if you're Japanese in China right now. Be super careful. I remember with my Japanese friends, whenever the sentiment used to boil up, we'd have to pretend they were a different nationality. We'd be out drinking and people were like, is he Japanese? I'm like, no, he's from Singapore or he's Korean or something like that. And they'd be like, oh, okay, fine, type of thing.
That's a real concern.
It's a real thing. It's horrible. So anyway, they've gone all out trying to punish Japan, but
Seafood, concerts.
Yeah, exactly. And, there was some funny exchanges with an ex-ambassador from Japan who's like, well, the kind of people that are not going to come here because of nationalism, it's better. It's going to make Japan better that they're not here anyway. You know what I mean? That's caused another big row. Anyway, let's not harp on about this. Let's continue on. And another thing is this influencer from China has just been arrested. Have you got the story?
I do. November 19th, according to Cambodia China Times, Chinese internet celebrity Sister Orange was her nickname, and was rumored to have gone missing in Cambodia, sparking attention.
By the way, can we just point out China's face filters once again?
Yeah.
Dude, that's what she really looks like. You've just seen her influencer dance around stuff. Don't believe anything coming out of China when it comes to video or anything like that. The face filter technology is off the charts.
Yeah, she was arrested. That's the punchline here. She was arrested for online fraud, transnational human trafficking.
Yeah, you know how that went down, actually. She went to go and visit her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And her bank accounts in China have been used to launder the money out. Yeah. That's why she was arrested.
So here's the deal.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the crime.
Wow.
No, they only care about the face filters.
China's going nuts. They're like, yo, we were lied to.
Yeah,
I used
exactly.
to watch Sister Orange.
Yes.
On whatever, at Douyin.
More like Sister Potato.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
I'm just
Sister, yeah.
She got the chipmunk, like literally them joints. Chipmunks, bro.
Sister, yeah.
Anyway, people are more upset the fact that she doesn't look anything like.
Yeah, she looks nothing like her face filtered self. Yeah, this is one of those things.
That's actually what people cared about.
Yeah, that's actually what people care. Not that the fact that she's involved in human trafficking and fraud and all that, but that she actually doesn't look anything like her online persona.
Which is kind of a sad state of the world.
Yeah, it's the way the world works, dude. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It's super dumb, but that's just how it goes.
It's highly regarded.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's time, guys, for, well, that was interesting. Time for us to hit our Yumcha Q&A segment. This is where we answer your questions.
I'm surprised her face filter never, like, went off and came back on. And people were like, wait a second. I saw that.
And you question our answers.
That's right.
And
I saw them.
Can we have are we going to do a final look up at our amount of signups?
I did. So I'm just waiting to see if we hit the goal.
Oh, okay.
Remember, we have the Patreon goal up right now. It's the pledge drive. Why don't you hit the thing real quick?
The pledge?
It's the pledge drive. It's the China Show pledge drive. And we are trying to beat censorship. We're trying to fight these age restrictions. We're trying to fight these bots trying to take down our videos. We are trying to stay afloat. So if you sign up for Patreon or gift it to someone else, remember, if you go to patreon.com/ADPpodcast, you can gift it to someone else. You can sign up yourself.
Yo.
Let's play with Foxfire.
Let's not.
If you sign up at the $10 or $20 tier, you're going to get our Monday show. You're going to get every past Monday show. It's our special show.
Yes.
Where we cover the really interesting stuff.
Yep.
You're going to support us.
Things we can't show on YouTube.
Yes. And number 2, you're going to help us hit this goal. If we get 75 signups on that goal 3 right there, everyone in the community is going to get a free ticket to the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
That is our yearly show where all the China Show characters come at each other and fight each other.
It's hilarious.
In a ring, there's only one winner.
Yeah, we've had 2 before, and you can actually go watch them if you join our Patreon. You can go look in our annals of history, and you'll see them. They're so much fun.
So if we do hit that goal today,
by the way,
everyone will get it.
Just a reminder that this Monday, our coming Shaban Ho, as you mentioned earlier, is about revolutionary fantasies. We love revolutionary fantasies. They're ridiculous. They're these Chinese movies and TV shows where peasants or, like lowly Chinese farmers or one soldier will like massacre the entire army of Japan.
It's like Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay, but the things they come up with are,
they're incredible.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. It's going to be super fun.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, let's do it. It's Friday. Loosen the tie and relax and grab a beverage of your choice. It's time to answer questions. What do we got?
It's time to duel. Let's see here. Long Wolf, thank you very much. Joem. Joem says, you're a fan of the China Show if you randomly say bollard throughout your day. Thank you guys for your hard work.
Yeah, we have a bollard report for you next week. Don't worry.
We do. Professor Tonium says, hit the like if you like the likes. Robert, we hit the like goal.
Oh, good.
Can you give us a goal?
I'll give us a goal. We have it. I always lose that goal. There it is.
Me.
Goal achieved.
My voice here, guys. Too excited.
Too excited. I mean, I'm genuinely humbled and excited by the fact that we hit our 2 goals. That's amazing.
Yes. Yeah. Just got to get rid of this. Let's see. Should I do a count?
Yeah, do a count.
Do a count.
While you do a count, what am I going to do? I know. I'll just do a random soundbite.
Must be nice to live in a real country.
Okay, I'll do a count now.
Okay, let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. It's 27 so far. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yes, nice.
70.
Yeah.
71. 72. 73.
Ooh.
We have 2 signups left.
If we hit 2 more, we get a goal.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Don't say 6, 7. Chat's going nuts about 6, 7.
What is that anyway?
Are you so behind?
My kid says that, and I'm like, what is this nonsense?
Are you that far behind?
I'm not paying attention to...
You know what? It's better that you don't, and it's better that it's done. Just let it go. And then
just let it go.
Then you don't ever have to think about it.
All right. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know what the 6, 7 thing's about. I really genuinely don't. I'm not trying to be cool or something.
Thank you, Robert. Anthony, good to see you, gents. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Did you happen to notice Hassan Piker sucking up to CCP? Yes, we did.
Yes. Unfortunately, China's been quite smart in getting big influencers and wooing them. And basically, it's this whole, come on over, we'll show you around, we'll pay for you.
It's a Pyongyang tour.
Yeah, set you up in 5-star hotels. You will hang out with translators and with minders, and they take him around to all the best places. It's the usual thing. Yeah, they do that with everyone.
You see the UK is allowing China to open up a super spy agency in London. Yeah, and I can't believe that most of British people don't want that, and yet they're still going through with it.
That's what happens when you've got crappy, sort of backroom deals and greasing of palms and whatnot else with stupid politicians that suck balls. Excuse me.
K-pop classics say, how do you reply to someone who claims China needs censorship for safety and stability? I always hear that. That's dumb.
Yeah, no.
That's just a dumb argument. Everyone deserves freedom.
Yeah.
And non-censorship.
When I grew up in South Africa, there was
the wall of Tepigs. Oh my god, I'm gonna double down.